Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Hello, folks. O'Gorman, Rapid City, Stevens tonight at the MAC. I think you're on 2, Dan. We'll be going on the air in about 6 minutes or so.
La 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 la.
Isaac's truck will be joining us by game time. Okay, so those two work. That works.
Hello, this is Mark Konzemius, president of the Catholic Community Foundation.
Oh, it's Christian tomorrow. That's right. Then they go to Rapid next weekend.
Yeah. I think the Washington game's not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. So whatever.
I'm gonna be there.
So that'd be like the 19th, maybe.
I'm gonna be there. What's AJ going to do next year? Is he going to try to get a teaching job somewhere and coaching? Hell, he'll be.
Yeah, he'll be graduating.
He'll get a job. There's no doubt about it.
Where at?
Well, he'll be in town here. His dad teaching for the city, so he'll get in. A little touch of a cold, huh?
Well, I was way worse last week. I was fine then, Kelsey. I went to this corn maze, which I wasn't anything to do with because I said, but 2 Sundays ago, and then last week, Monday and Tuesday, all the way through, I just wasn't, I had headaches and I had sinus stuff, and my voice was terrible last week. But then,
did you go get checked?
No. I've been.
Somebody said that's what they had. They went and got checked, and they thought they just had a sinus infection. No, they never told them. My brother got it again, second time.
Coffee, I told him that I was going to, my interview was I was going to propose on Saturday. He's like, hey, you should video stream it. I was like, yeah, probably.
Somebody should. If somebody's sitting over there that you don't know is sitting over the camera recording it.
They're wearing our favorite uniforms, Dan, those grays.
Oh, I can't hardly read. I can't even read them right now. I'm facing into the sun. So who the 4 that are injured? Nelson back?
He should be back. He played a little last week.
Okay, who's...
I don't know if there's anyone that really play them. I think we're probably healthier now than we have for the most part in the last couple weeks.
Well, we got to win tonight and next week. But then we'd be setting what, 5th or 6th?
Yeah, there's the right here is your standings. Because we're 6th right now. Jefferson and Lincoln play this week. Like Poppy said, all these teams play each other in the next couple of weeks. You know,
We sure the hell don't want to be 7th or 8th and have to play Grand Valley. It'd be nice if you move up to 4 and get a home game. But I think if we can win out, we probably would. If we can win out, Washington League, Jefferson is third. I would say Lincoln. Lincoln's in 4th. We move up 2 spots.
so let's see. We'll have
Oh, he brought his grandpa's here. Grandpa and grandma.
we can talk for a while in this first segment. I don't have a Stevens coach interview.
That's all right.
So,
It doesn't hurt a thing.
so we will be on the air, Dan, in 27:10 or 26:50, 20 seconds.
I'll be in 5 and you're in 2.
You're listening to a special presentation from the Real Presence Radio Network. On Real Presence Radio, welcome to the Knights Game Day Show.
And welcome everyone to McEnany Field at O'Gorman High School in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where today we have a matchup on the gridiron in 11 AAA football as Rapid City Stevens at 2-4 on the season plays the Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights, also at 2-4 on the season. Hi, I'm Brett Byler with Real Presence Radio. I'm joined today in the booth by Dan Scoop Johnson. Isaac Struck will also be here in a little bit to do the play-by-play. O'Gorman last week ended their 4-game losing streak, the longest losing streak in Coach Poppinga's tenure here, in a big way with a big win at Rapid City Central, 61-3. Knights led that throughout the ball game, never were stopped offensively. While our opponent tonight, Rapid City Stevens, actually played in the game before our game last Friday night up in the School of Mines football field, and they lost their homecoming game to Harrisburg, 49-25. It was a little bit closer than that at certain points during the game, but Harrisburg was just too much in that one. Well, welcome back to the broadcast booth tonight, Dan Johnson. Dan, O'Gorman missed your presence. They missed the rosaries during that Brandon Valley and Lincoln games, those 3 to 4 point losses. Didn't miss you as much last week, but we're glad to have you back tonight. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I went to, I get vacation time, don't I?
Yeah, for sure.
I went down the Holy Land 3 weeks ago, saw Notre Dame beat Purdue, and then I was at Braintree a couple weeks ago, and then last week the wife's 60th birthday, we went out of town. So it's kind of like you got to do the family things and stuff. But no, and I got my rosary right here, Brett.
Yes, I see it.
I got my rosary right here, folks. Hopefully we won't need it tonight.
Yeah, hopefully it can stay in your pocket tonight, Dan.
Hopefully it will. So I hope I don't have to come out in the fourth quarter and say it's time for the rosary. So
absolutely. Well, we're glad to have you back on the call tonight. So people could. So Dan, tell us how people can tune into this football game tonight.
You can tune in tonight by listening to 94.5 FM, 91.3 FM Hartford, online at realpresenceradio.com. Click Listen Now at 94.5 FM Hartford and 91.3, or on free mobile app by clicking the stations 94.5 and 91.3. And finally, on your YouTube, when you get home tonight, turn on that YouTube and you can watch the game here. So, Brett, let's recap last week. The big win for the O'Gorman Knights out in Rapid City. They travel west. They travel all day. And, when you go to West River, you're kind of sluggish and all day and everything. And all of a sudden they come out and they just took Rapid City to camp. The Cobblers 61-3 last Friday night, extending their win streak to Rapid City to 26 games. That's pretty outstanding.
Yeah, that's a longer winning streak than our partner Isaac Struck's been alive for. So it's been a while. So
he's not even 20.
Isaac he just turned 21 in April. He's a youngin,
he's a young buck.
But Dan, that game was never in doubt. Like you said, you just never know when you sit in a bus that long. You have to get up early, and then how are you going to be when you come out? Are you going to be ready to play? It's going to take you a while. Because it took Jefferson a quarter and a half to even score against Rapid City Central, so it's not an easy thing.
So the Knights are 21-0 first quarter, 41-3 folks at halftime. Then it became the running clock after the game was never in doubt. Then Gorman didn't punt the whole game. Dannebrink went 15 for 16 for 225, 3 touchdowns. The sophomore, Maverick Jones, 9 carries for 70 yards, 2 DDs. Okay, the offenses, they've struggled this year. There's no doubt about it. We know that.
Right, yeah.
But last week they put up 61 points, 380 yards.
I think it's going to be...
What was the difference?
I think they just executed their plays. As simple as that sounded, they had the guys in the right spot. We've seen so many times this year, Dan, which is uncharacteristic of a Coach Poppy offense, where he's had to call timeouts because they're not lined up right, or the play gets ran wrong. It's just something. I think part of it's a new quarterback. Bennett's not been in the system before, so I think it's a learning curve for him. But just those little things that you take for granted. The coach is going to call a play in, the team's going to execute the play. Now we're in week 6. We're not in week 1 or 2 anymore, and they just executed very well at Friday night, Dan.
So mental mistakes.
Yes.
That's what I would call it, because, they got their first, like you said, they're not playing well together and stuff, and everybody should be out there, should I be on the sideline, should be out there, a lot of mental mistakes. Okay, let's talk about, we got some super sophomores.
We do.
The future looks bright for Gorman football, folks. We're going to call out these 3 sophomores right here. I mean, we got some other sophomore juniors, don't get me wrong, but Gorman's been dealt injuries throughout the year. We got, 3 players down. So these 3 sophomores, and I'm calling super sophomores, they picked up the last 3 weeks, have really shined. Number 1, Maverick Jones, Rylan Satter, and he's a St. Lambert boy.
Oh, there we go.
And Henry Theobald. Brett, these young men have stepped up. The future look great. What's your thoughts on seeing these young guys step up? They haven't played too much the first couple games, 3-4 games, and all of a sudden the last 3 games they're playing a lot. What do you think?
Well, it's a really good thing for the depth purposes moving forward, because football, as you know, Dan, there's a lot of injuries that happen and illnesses and different things. And Maverick kind of was playing a little bit running back at the start of the year, but then they moved Nate Ratzloff to right tackle, and then kind of opened the door for Maverick, who had his breakout game against Lincoln 2 weeks ago. With Rylan Satter, he's kind of playing that H-back position, that tight end position offensively. Kind of new weapon for O'Gorman. They started him 2 weeks ago, so he kind of had a rough game against Lincoln. You'll hear Coach Poppy talk about that. Just everything went a little bit too fast for him. But then last week he really settled in. And then finally Henry Theobald, who's starting for Andrew Nelson, who got hurt in the Washington game. Theobald had 2 interceptions, and he's, according to Coach Poppy, he's their best cornerback. So if nothing else, these players have filled a role for some players. When these other players come back, I think some of them will still have the same roles, but this adds depth in the playoffs.
What a confidence builder.
Oh, yeah.
For these sophomores to see their teammates, and I'm talking about other sophomores around the team that don't get that much playing time, can see that their classmates are getting out there playing. What confidence that builds up for the whole team. And that's going to take us in. We got 2 games left, and then we got playoffs. So that affects it, doesn't it, Brett?
It sure does. I mean, with the season winding down, and it's something that Coach Poppy will have confidence in these players too. Where you can call their number in a playoff game because, look, Mavericks had success, Ryland's had success, and Henry Theobald, you can put him on a receiver and you can feel confident about it. So, and I think, like you mentioned, Dan, that wears off on some of the other younger kids as well. So, great news for O'Gorman having sophomores in the AAA football level stand out. That's pretty outstanding.
So let's talk about our opponent tonight, the Raiders of Rapid City Stevens. They come in tonight 2-4 in the season. Brett mentioned earlier, come off the 49-25 home loss, the homecoming game to number 1 Harrisburg last week in that doubleheader. Stevens is the team that has offense that can put up points. That's what I'm afraid of tonight. The Raiders average 25.5 points a game behind that excellent cornerback, Jed Jensen, and a trio of good receivers. Tonight, I can see Rapid City throwing the ball. So how do we slow down that offense?
Well, one of the best ways to slow down an offense, Dan, as you know, is a pass rush.
Yep.
You got to make the quarterback uncomfortable and just don't let him just sit there in the pocket. And I think David Alper's defensive end, Rush Landry, will be an opportunity for them tonight. Also, the pressure up the middle. But Jensen, I watched him last week because the game was before our game. He can really chuck the ball. He has 2 really tall receivers that are going to be tough matchups. They have a 6'4 receiver in Caden Nelson. Trokum weighing 6'2. Our tallest quarterback 6 foot, Dan. So as you know in basketball, it's not good when you're smaller than the guy you're guarding.
But that's what I think. We get that pass rush. That men's can get around. If they can contain, if that men's can get in there and cause him to stay out of balance, we're going to get right at him, get in his face, and that's going to throw their whole game off.
And one thing to look at is you might see O'Gorman's defense, Dan, try to strip the ball a lot because watching that game last week, their running back fumbled it twice. So you might see those linebackers, Matchek, Peterson, they might be trying to force fumbles because they gave away a couple of plays against Harrisburg last week.
Listen to that school song here. This is great. Okay, now let's talk about the run game last week. We haven't had very good few run games here, but last couple games, 100-plus yards. What happened?
Well, we have better offensive line play for one. Again, we mentioned Nate Ratzloff doing a really good job in there at right tackle, and I think just those guys are kind of gelling together a little bit. And our running backs, like especially Maverick Jones, he's making a lot of guys miss, Dan. So those 2-3 yard runs are 7-8 yard runs. And we're staying ahead of the chains, but I think it's a combination of better offensive line play and more confidence from Maverick Jones, kind of being more of the featured running back. And one thing to look for as well tonight, Dan, is Chase Harris had an illness, and he's missed a couple of weeks, and now he came back and played just a little bit against Central. He was our starting right tackle, our only returning starter on the offensive line to start the season. Look for Chase Harris to play a little bit more tonight in the offensive line. A big loss has been Joe Niedringhouse. He got hurt in that game you weren't at, Dan. I think it was the Brandon Valley game.
Yep.
and he sprained an ankle. He's still out tonight. He's playing really well at left guard. And then also, if you look at the running attack, I think it's kind of been featured a little bit more recently because Manny Struck hurt his wrist or his hand, so he can't really play offense. So now you're going to run the ball a lot more with less than Manny Struck out there to throw the ball to as well. And as we all know, too, in football, if it's colder weather, you're going to probably want to try to run the ball more, and that looks good for us going into those October games late in the season, Dan.
Okay, so let's talk about the other games tonight going on across South Dakota in AA and AAA. Also tonight starting at 6 o'clock, Rapid City Central is at number 1 to Harrisburg. Harrisburg, again, number 1, 6-0. Sioux Falls, Washington is taking on Sioux Falls Roosevelt. That's out at Howard Wood, 6 o'clock. Spearfish is at Douglas. Aberdeen Central travels down the T area. T area number 1 in AA at 6-0. 7 o'clock start. Brandon Valley, number 2, is at Mitchell. Mitchell's 1-5. Watertown goes out to play the Governors and Pierre. Sturgis Brown is at Yankton. Brookings is at Huron. And the other AAA game is tomorrow night, Lincoln and Sioux Falls Jefferson at Howard Wood Field. So that's number 3 and number 5, and that's going to be – so there's – like we talked off air beforehand, we're sitting there number 6 right now. They're 2 tied for 1 in points. And everybody's got to play each other. So it's a chance for us to make a statement here the next 3 games and move up to maybe 4 and get that home field advantage of that first playoff game in October.
Yeah, and just talking to Coach Poppy, has a lot of math, obviously. Lots still to happen. I think probably 4 is as high as we're going to get right now, but what that means is a home game. You know, and you always kind of want that home game in the first round of the playoffs. And a lot of these other Sioux Falls schools, like the Roosevelts, the Lincolns, the Jeffersons, they're all going to be playing each other in the next couple of weeks too. So if we can get a win tonight, win against Huron struggle this season, going into that last game against Jefferson on that Thursday night, that could be a really big game for playoff seeding. And you know,
Jefferson's been up and down.
They have. I mean, I think they're a team. They have a couple, maybe the 2 most talented players in the state. In Wilde and then in Taylor and Ashley, but Roosevelt just ran right over him last week, just that big offensive line. And it's kind of one of those games where a lot of those Roosevelt seniors, you know, and juniors, they kind of put it to their former teammates. And I'm sure it probably felt good for Coach Kim Nelson, too. One thing to mention, Dan, I haven't seen any updates on social media. State tennis is going on right now in Sioux Falls, so the O'Gorman girls are in state tennis. I think the Stevens girls actually were leading after day 1, which was yesterday. Also tonight, there's going to be the fall play at the Lorraine Theater. I know you've probably been to a few fall plays in your day, Dan.
Well, I was in plays back in my day. I love plays. And I'll tell you what, the arts at O'Gorman, folks, if you've never been to a play, the plays, and especially the musical in the spring, you have to go. Besides the sports, O'Gorman does very well in the arts department, and I tell you what,
they do.
Fester and Nelson, they just do a fabulous job.
Yeah, so you know, if you're done with the game, if you don't want to watch the game or anything tonight, there's the fall play. And the fall play will also be tomorrow night as well at 7 p.m. So that is our scoreboard update.
Coming up on the other side of the break, we'll hear what our opponent tonight about the Rapid City Stevens. You're listening to Real Presence Radio.
Is there an event that you would like announced right here on the RPR network? Please email the details at least 2 weeks in advance to heather@realpresenceradio.com. That's HEATHER@realpresenceradio.com. We can help spread the word about what's happening at your parish and in your diocese. Again, that email address is heather@realpresenceradio.com.
Here at Catholic Family Services, we believe counseling is for everyone. Catholic Family Services is here to help whether you are navigating a life transition, such as going to college or changing career paths, wanting to improve your communication skills, making plans for your future family, or wanting to understand mental health. If you would like more information or to set up an appointment with one of our trained professionals, call Catholic Family Services at 605-988-3775.
All right, folks, welcome back to tonight's Game Day Show. Brett Byler, Dan Johnson with Real Presence Radio. We're probably about 18, 19 minutes real time away from 20 minutes or so from the kickoff tonight. Beautiful night here tonight, Dan, in Sioux Falls, October, Friday. Perfect night for football.
A little bit, temperature is coming down the road from work about 80 degrees, but that sun's getting a little bit hazy. Some clouds coming in. It's going to roll down, but a gorgeous night for football. And like Brett mentioned earlier, Isaac's on his way. He had a little commitment after school, but he'll get here when he gets here to call the game for you and stuff. So don't worry, Isaac will be here shortly. So let's talk about the opposing coach did not give us an interview. Normally we do the opposing coach an interview right now, and for whatever reason, he did not cooperate, did not give us one, Brett.
Right, yeah, and I always will try to, because it's always fun to hear the other side of the team that we're playing, to hear about them. What are they doing to prepare, how their season's going, and find more out about their athletes. But we're able to get to talk to Michael Scott this year, but for me being able to go to the game last week and see Stevens play in person, one thing you notice about this team is they like to do the spread offense. They'll put 2 or 3, 4 receivers out there. The quarterback would like to throw the ball around. They have 2 tall targets in Alex Trokamoinen. He's number 14. He'll be making a lot of plays. And then Caden Nelson, number 5, is another one. The guy who really impressed me last week was their smaller receiver, number 1, Easton Ogle. He kind of did a lot of the stuff that you used to see like a Zach Norton do for O'Gorman, Canyon Bauer type, a lot of those end arounds, short game. Get the ball to him in space and let him go. I can mention the quarterback has a really good arm, likes to throw the ball. Uriah Glenn, their running back, smaller guy, about 5'8", Dan. Stocky kid, though, about 185, strong kid, pretty quick. So he's a threat in the running game. He had over 100 yards against Sturgis Brown 2 weeks ago. Did fumble it a couple of times last week. Defensively, they play a 3-4 cover 2 defense. There'll be some windows in the inside. I think Coach Poppy mentioned, you'll hear in his interview, where he wants to attack. They do have a couple really good outside linebackers. They're a little bit smaller. You know, we're used to playing these Sioux Falls teams and Harrisburg teams, big in the line, Dan, just really big kids. Stevens won't be one of them. They're not quite as big as some of the opponents we had. I think Coach Poppy thinks we can run the ball inside on them. They do have a really good nose tackle and a really good outside linebacker. And they have their 2 final games will be Sioux Falls, Washington. They host them next week up in Rapid City. And then they close the season with a rivalry game against Rapid City Central at the School of Mines Stadium. Currently, they're an 8th seed right now. So, and there's 9 teams. Rapid City Central's 9. So you need to be in the top 8 to make the playoffs. So these are very important.
Somebody doesn't make it, and it's going to come down to the wire, I think, for that last game out there at Rapid City. So thank you for that. So don't go away. He's been known as Blue Eyes. Brett Byler sits down with Coach Jason Popka. That interview is next, and the Game Day Show continues on Real Presence Radio Network.
Hello, this is Mark Konzemius, president of the Catholic Community Foundation for Eastern South Dakota. Preparing for the end of life can be overwhelming, even scary. Yet as disciples of Christ, we live in great hope and the reality of God's promise that death is not the end, but a new beginning. The end-of-life planning workbook for Catholics is now available. I encourage you to reach out to one of our Catholic Community Foundation offices or ccfesd.org. May God bless each of us on our journey to heaven.
Early in his time as the new bishop of the Diocese of Sioux Falls, Bishop Donald DeGrood sensed in prayer the vision that the Lord has for the diocese in our time: lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. That is, for each and every Catholic in Eastern South Dakota to receive God's love, to be in personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and to share that love with others. Find out more at sfcatholic.org/vision and discover the exciting and beautiful part you have to play in God's plan.
Welcome back to tonight's Game Day Show. I'm now joined by Sioux Falls O'Gorman football coach Jason Poppinga. Coach, you got back on the winning track with a big win over Rapid City Central last week, 61-3. A game where offensively you executed terrifically, Coach. No punts in the game. Your first string offense just went up and down the field. And though that one area you kind of exploited with their defense was the flats with a lot of quick passes. Just talk about the offensive game plan going into the game and how well you thought you guys executed it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was our guys doing the right thing and making good decisions. And, I was happy with how we ran the football when we started our first drive off, with a couple run plays, and then like you said, a lot of little play action pass stuff. But I mean, that's really, a basic of our offense. That's something that if you look traditionally, we're looking to hit those intermediate routes, window routes, open flats, key screens, all that kind of stuff is a major part of how we do things, and getting the ball out quick because, we know we're undersized on the offensive line. We know we're not going to be able to just go up there and push people up and down the field like, you see a Roosevelt or a Washington in a Brandon Valley sometimes doing with the size of their offensive line. But, we're happy with the decision making. Both of our quarterbacks we thought did a great job. Bennett did a great job moving the ball up and down the field. Hayden Gross got in there a couple times once again, moved us in for another touchdown. We saw Rylan Satter, who, struggled the week before in his first start with knowing like what to do. The game went really fast for him and things really slowed down, and you saw him execute at a high level and get 2 touchdowns out of it. We saw, good play from Peyton Heggie, making some big blocks out on the perimeter, one for Satter, and then catching a couple balls as well. And, I thought we distributed the ball well. think we had 7 different receivers catch footballs in that game, and including Ryan Bornhoff having 3 big catches to set up a score. So I thought it was just a complete effort by our team, and if we execute like that, we expect to keep winning football games.
And Coach, with a big lead at halftime going into that third quarter and second half of that game, sometimes you might have the tendency to relax or whatnot. Talk about how well you think your team did with that lead executing the second half. It's not the easiest to play with a huge lead like that.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, we scored in every possession except for right before the half. We ran out of time, before that, and then come out the third quarter, our defense gets a stop, our offense scores right away. I was really proud of them that, they didn't say the game was over at halftime and let them score a couple touchdowns or, feel like they're getting back into the game. Overall, the things we've been talking to our kids all year about, executing at a high level, doing your job at high speed, all those things, we feel like, we're starting to get there. Now, granted, Rapid City wasn't as good of a team as what we've seen in the past, but when you look at the number of mistakes we had last Friday night, it's significant lower than what we had against Lincoln and Brandon in those previous weeks, and we lose those games by 3-4 points, that if we start executing like we do, we feel like, we easily could be a 5-1 football team right now.
Now your opponent tonight, Rapid City Stevens Raiders, they come to O'Gorman. Kind of watched them. I did play Harrisburg the game before your guys' game. Seems like the quarterback throws a really nice deep ball. They have a couple good receivers. Offensively, it seems like they could be a challenge to your team tonight.
Yeah, definitely. That's, kind of typical Stevens play. Quarterback, is good. He's athletic. He's got a good arm. They've got 2 good receivers that have height advantages over our corners and our secondary, and 2 other receivers that are good enough, and they run the ball well enough. That'll kind of be the key for us is, can we stop the pass game? We think that's what they want to go to first, and when we do that, can we also stop the run up and then the inside? And then offensively, it's can we put points on the board and keep our defense off the field? That's the best defense, is our offense keeping the football.
How did your offense specifically, Coach, need to attack their defense tonight to have success?
Yeah, you're going to see them sit, on a basic cover 2, a 3-man front most of the night. We think they're a little bit light. We're going to have to, run inside of the box with only their 2 linebackers. Their outside linebackers are really good. They're athletic, and we know that they're going to be looking to stop, like you said, our intermediate pass game. But we feel like, if we run the ball well, it'll still open up those seams and those holes and window routes. And Bennett's done a great job of finding those and reading defenses now out on the fly. So, we're expecting to put points on the board again. We're expecting to go out and, have another high execution and win another football game.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Hey, thanks, Brett. Appreciate it.
And we'd like to thank Coach Baumgart for his time and insight. Coming up after the break, we'll find out what the Knights need to do to defend and beat these Rapid City Stevens Raiders, our keys to victory. And Isaac just joined the booth, so we'll be back. Stay with us. You're listening to O'Gorman Football on Real Presence Radio.
Need repairs on gas pumps, tanks, and air compressors? Sioux Equipment Company can help. They serve Sioux Falls and the surrounding areas. Sioux Equipment Company also offers services for lifts, signs, decals, and tank truck equipment. Sioux Equipment Company at 605-334-1653 is a supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
Upon graduation from O'Gorman High School, you will receive far more than a diploma. You get the values of a Catholic education, the support and reach of thousands of alum from across the country, the knowledge that you can become who you were meant to be, and our community will be right there by your side. You belong in blue. O'Gorman High School.
Welcome back to Real Presence Radio Network here at O'Gorman High School as we get ready to join in with our Keys to Victory segment tonight for the Knights game against the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. First off, we got to run the ball effectively. O'Gorman had over 100 rushing yards each of the last 2 weeks. Maverick Jones, 22 carries for 156 yards and 3 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. Also got to have success on third downs. Like last week, O'Gorman was 3 for 4 on third downs. In the previous 3 games, O'Gorman's offense was only 7 of 32 on third downs at just 22%. Also, we got to get pressure on Jed Jensen. The Stevens quarterback has a strong arm and a lot of talented receivers around him. We can't just let him sit in the pocket and get comfortable. O'Gorman's had 9 sacks on the season so far through 6 games, so it's going to be important to get home tonight to Jed Jensen. Also got to create turnovers. O'Gorman defense had 1 interception last week versus Lincoln 2 weeks ago. They created a season-high 3 turnovers on 2 interceptions and a forced fumble. And then finally, get off to a quick start offensively. O'Gorman had 21 points last week in Rapid. In the previous 5 games, O'Gorman only had scored 33 points in the first half, so 6.6 points per game in the first half. And then also, this is the MAC. This is the home turf. Got to protect it in any way possible, as they've lost 2 straight here at home.
Okay. Pick to click. Isaac, who's your player?
I'm going to take Maverick Jones tonight. I think they're going to continue to ride the hot legs, if you will, not the hot hand, but the hot legs, if you will. I think that he's going to have a good game on the ground. They'll probably get him involved a little bit in the passing game on some perimeter screen passes or swing passes of that matter. But I really think that they're going to trust the sophomore to gain some valuable yards early in the ball game and establish the run and then open up the pass later in the evening.
Okay, I'm going with the junior, the wide receiver, number 9, Peyton Hagee. I'm going to take him tonight as our pick to click player of the game. Players to watch at Rapid City, as Brett mentioned earlier, Jed Jensen, the junior quarterback, number 6, throws really good deep ball. Good as you?
Yeah, we'll say it's as good as it maybe better than me.
You know, and they got a good running back, linebacker, number 34. He's versus the run and pass, very aggressive. So we need to be active, tonight against the Stevens defense. So
stay tuned for more here as we come up on the other side of the break. You're listening to O'Gorman Heights football on Real Presence Radio Network.
Hi, this is Brett Byler, Area Account Executive with Real Presence Radio. Did you know the signal of Real Presence Radio reaches an audience of over 2.4 million people across North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, and Wyoming? Have you ever thought about running radio spots on the RPR network? We want to partner with you to help gain exposure for your business in front of a very faithful customer base. To find out more about the options, please call me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
I'm Bishop Donald DeGrood. I'd like to invite you to the Through God's Love Conference on Saturday, October 30th at the Sioux Falls Convention Center. Over the last few months, we've been spreading the word about the diocesan vision, lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. Now I'd like to invite you to participate in this conference, where we will help you respond to God's call and in turn help others know and love Him themselves. Visit sfcatholic.org and join me in the renewal the Holy Spirit is working in our diocese.
On the Real Presence Radio Network, O'Gorman Knights Football is on the air. Brought to you by
Catholic Family Services, Catholic Community Foundation of Eastern South Dakota, Jardine Construction, Barnett Vision Clinic, Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools, McGuire Iron, Sioux Equipment Company, Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness, Closets and More, and JMJ Caseworks. The BB Agency, Knights of Columbus Insurance, Crossroads Book and Music, Pizza Ranch, and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street.
Kickoff to tonight's game is just moments away. With all the exciting action of O'Gorman Knights football, let's go to the field.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School as we get ready for our priest prayer before kickoff, as Father Andy Thuringer, the chaplain of O'Gorman High School, will lead us in prayer. Father, take it away.
Hello, I'm Father Andy Thuringer, chaplain at Bishop O'Gorman High School. Let's begin in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of life and the gift of this day. We praise you for the gift of our young people, and ask that your Holy Spirit would raise them up as disciples of your Son. Keep all these student-athletes safe today, and may everything they do today glorify you. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you to Father Andy Thuringer as we get ready for our playing of the national anthem.
And of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
But first,
Amen.
we'll have our on-field prayer.
Glory to you, God of all creation. We give you thanks for the gifts and opportunities you give us. We surrender our plans for the future and the pain of our past. Please grant us strength to give ourselves in the service of others. Mary, Queen of Victory, pray for us. Now, if you haven't stood, please stand. Remove your hats, face the flag, place your right hand over your heart, and sing along as the O'Gorman Pep Band, under the direction of Mr. Ben Cope, plays our national anthem. All veterans and out-of-uniform military personnel may salute the flag.
And that was our national anthem here at O'Gorman High School, as we are just moments away from kickoff between the O'Gorman Knights and the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. And to get ourselves into the ball game, let's introduce some of our starting lineups here for the O'Gorman Knights. Offensively for the Knights, starting at center, the number 52, the junior Aiden Scott. At right guard, senior number 57, Zach Carlson. Left guard, number 74, senior William Peterson. Left tackle, number 53, senior Peter Benson. And then at right tackle, the junior, number 63, Nate Ratzloff. At receiver for the Knights tonight, number 4, the senior David Alpers. Number 84, the sophomore Ryland Satter. Number 9, the junior Peyton Hagee. And number 8, the senior Rush Landry. At running back, number 14, the sophomore Maverick Jones. And at quarterback tonight for the O'Gorman Knights, number 2, the junior Bennett Dannenbring. Then defensively for the Knights, Zach Carlson, number 57, the nose tackle. At the end, number 8, senior Rush Landry. David Alpers, our other end. Carter Peterson, Andrews Matichak, Nate Ratzloff, and Gabe Cheddar round out the linebacking quad down in front in the front 7. And then finally the DBs starting at safety, number 26, the senior Manny Struck. Number 17, the senior Jack White. And then Henry Theobald, the sophomore, and Logan Height, the senior, the two cornerbacks for the O'Gorman Knights. Now, offensively for the Stevens Raiders. There we go. There they are. We had some late game or pre-game adjustments, but offensively for the Raiders, number 69, Thomas Martin is at center. The right guard, number 74, junior Tanner Oaten. Left guard, Hayden Bentz. The senior left tackle, number 73, Ben Goldie. Right tackle, number 63, senior Colton Lowen. Wide receiver, number 5, senior Caden Nelson. Wide receiver, number 14, senior Alex Trocamoinen. Running back for Stevens, senior number 26, Uriah Glynn. Wide receiver, number 1, junior Easton Oagley. And wide receiver, number 7, junior Julian Scott. Jet Jensen, the quarterback for the Stevens Raiders, he's number 6. And Stevens will get ready to kick off, so we'll address their starters right before the kickoff, or right after the kickoff here, as O'Gorman gets ready to receive the opening kickoff on the right end, or the right end zone. They'll be traveling right to left for those watching at home. O'Gorman sporting the gray jerseys with the white helmets. Stevens in the white jerseys with the gray helmets and the blue pants. O'Gorman with the white pants. I think it's a clean look with the white pants. I always do like the white pants, regardless of the jersey.
South about 10 miles an hour. Feels like 82 degrees tonight here in Sioux Falls. The sun's starting to set here in about 45 minutes.
An absolutely beautiful night.
Gorgeous.
As this kick is getting ready to be sent down the field, it'll be a spiraling kick, bounces away from Maverick Jones, and then rolls into the end zone for a touchback. So out comes the O'Gorman offense here, highlighted by quarterback Bennett Dannenbring and his trio of receivers and running back, the sophomore Maverick Jones. And now defensively for the Stevens Raiders, at nose tackle, Javon McNabb. At end, Spencer Garrett. Rain Thompson, the other end, and then Gavin Skinner, Tate Crossweight, Lucas Canta, and Luke Jergis are the linebackers. Handoff on the first play from scrimmage goes to Maverick Jones. He runs around the outside. He's got room to run down the sideline. He's going to break away from a defender down to the 48-yard line, and a big gain on first down, and the pick to click from Mr. Isaac Struck looks pretty solid so far.
29-yard pickup.
And then the DBs to round out the Stevens Raiders defense: Hayden Gebhardt, Tanner Ludens, Eli Oxner, and Corder Donnie. So O'Gorman will come out here, 2 receivers to the left and a wing back, and then a handoff to Maverick Jones. He'll run around the outside, get some room to run once again, this time brought down from behind. That was number 2, Gavin Skinner, on the tackle.
Tackled by number 2, Skinner. Number 24.
After a gain of 5 yards on first down, it'll be 2nd and 5. 2nd and 6, it looks like they're going to. Nope, 2nd and 5. Gorman will come out with a receiver to each side and then a tight end and fullback offset to the left, and Jones will get the carry up the middle, going forward for about 4 yards, met right around the line of scrimmage. It'll be interesting to see how much they give him here.
I think he's going to be short.
Be about a couple inches short here. It'll bring up 3rd down and a foot.
And Lunders combined for the tackle for the Raiders.
3 plays, all run to start the game here.
Snap, keep along the outside. Dannenbring's got room to run. He's up the field down near the 30-yard line, where he will be brought down right on the numbers. But after O'Gorman Heights first down, they continue to move the chains. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line, right hash.
After that big win last week, we talked about earlier what confidence to give these guys. They come out here, and hopefully we can score here in this drive, but it gives them that boost that they needed after them tough losses the 2 previous weeks. We got offsides.
I believe that was Rylan Satter moving.
Full start, number 84.
So it was Satter on the false start, and that'll back the Knights up 5 yards.
Dead ball, false start, number 84, first down.
That was about the first time at O'Gorman High School that the mic from the referee has been picked up that clear.
It must have changed something.
Snap to Dannenbring, give this time to Jones. He'll run around the right side and then be wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Jones on the carry.
Nothing there. That end contained. It was good play by Stevens.
Good defensive play there as it'll bring up 2nd down and 15. Ball is at the 35. The Knights need the 20 to extend this drive.
Number 53, Spencer Garrett.
2nd long.
Dannenbring will come out with 2 receivers to the left, a tight end and fullback on the right side. They'll fake the give to Jones. Dannenbring rolling forward, throws on the run. That one well incomplete as he was brought to the ground from behind. That was number 3, Tate Crossweight, that got to him in the backfield, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 15.
A little bit late on that, throwing him down. I thought the ball had already gone down and hit touch the ground before he threw him down, but the white hat just kind of looked at it.
It's now 3rd down and 15 after that false start. The Knights have sputtered on the last 2 plays, and here comes a big 3rd down. I think you're kind of just in 4-down territory at this point, so they're probably just going to try to gain a chunk of yardage here. As Dannenbring drops back, he's got an open receiver in Hagee, wide open down the sideline. It's caught at the 5-yard line. Laying out for the football was Peyton Hagee, who makes a nice diving catch.
What a junior. He laid himself out for that ball, folks. That was a great play. He was wide open, Isaac, wasn't he?
That's one of those plays that you just hope not to miss on, and Hagee did a great job of adjusting to the football in the air. A good throw just a little bit out in front of the running Hagee, but Hagee made a great adjustment on a nice throw from Dannenbring and snagged it as he was falling to the turf. Snap, give to Maverick Jones along the outside. He's got room to run, makes a cut, and he's going to be brought down at the 1, maybe 2-yard line. I believe they will mark him at the 2.
That kid runs like he's a senior. I mean, look at
the poise.
The way he's jigging and jiving in there, kind of trying to throw them off, and excellent skills.
So the Knights will come down, 2nd down and goal from the 2-yard line. They'll come under center this time with Dannenbring. Dannenbring will take the snap and will plunge forward. It looks like he's into the end zone. Touchdown, O'Gorman. So the Knights the first on the scoreboard as Bennett Dannenbring with the quarterback keeper up the middle. Put 6 points on the scoreboard, and now we're getting ready for the extra point.
Jack Carlson and William Peterson.
Great opening drive for the O'Gorman Knights as they march 75 yards down the field.
It was on 9 plays. No good.
The extra point is no good. So after the Knights pick up a touchdown and miss the extra point, it's 6-0 here at O'Gorman High School as we get ready to take a break on Real Presence Radio Network.
Your family is depending on you to provide financial security for them. The Knights of Columbus can help you with insurance solutions such as disability income, long-term care, both term and whole life, annuities, retirement, and estate planning services. Join the Knights of Columbus today at kfc.org/join us for access to all these insurance services. Call the BB Agency at 605-882-8689. That's 605-882-8689.
Are you ready for some football? Real Presence Radio has you covered. We will be broadcasting and video streaming Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights football games both home and away this fall, starting on Saturday, August 28th. Have your business's radio spot heard across the radio, YouTube video stream, mobile app, and RPR website during all our O'Gorman football broadcasts. If your business would like to sponsor our O'Gorman football broadcast, contact me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School as that kickoff is going to be fielded down near the end zone, and now breaking free down the sideline is Stevens. Well, they'll eventually get pushed out at the 9-yard line. That looked like that was Corder Donnie on the return for the Raiders, and it was.
Nice run back.
So that scoring drive for O'Gorman was brought to you by Closets and More, a locally owned company providing custom-designed closets and storage solutions. Closets and More can be reached at 605-334-5135 or online at sdclosetsandmore.com.
Ran the ball out to the 48-yard line. Nice run back for the Raiders.
So here comes Stevens out of the gun. We'll get our first look at Jed Jensen as he sends Uriah Glynn in motion behind as Andrew Nelson makes a nice play on the slant route as he knocked it out of the hands of Alex Trokamoinen.
Intended for number 14, Alex Trokamoinen. Broken out by number 15, Andrew Nelson.
Jensen out of the gun, clap of the hand, give to Uriah Glynn up the middle where he's going to be met by David Alpers after a gain of 3 yards. Maybe they'll only say 2 on the ground. It'll bring up third down.
Now, was that Stevens or Central used to run the Wildcat?
That was Central. That was my senior year. It was the first time they debuted that.
That was interesting football.
All hectic and all sorts of chaos.
Tackle was by number 4, David Alpers. I believe
So
the ball carrier was number 26, Uriah Glenn.
Third down and 8. Stevens will come out with 3 receivers to the Trips' right side and movement up front. The flags came out late. All the players had stopped moving. By the time the flags came out, there's movement up front, and it should set the Raiders back 5 yards.
Dead ball. Full start. Number 73.
False start on number 73, Ben Goldie.
6'8", 295 senior. He's a tall glass of water.
Stevens will come out now, 2 receivers to each side. Uriah Glynn offset to the left of Jed Jensen, who's in the backfield, takes the snap, drops back to pass. A deep drop for Jensen, pump fakes, and now he'll keep up the middle. He's got room to run. Ended up being tackled by Anders Matacek just shy of the first down, but that's something to look out for tonight. Jed Jensen with the strong arm but very capable legs as he has a lot of speed.
A little hurry-up offense here for the Raiders. 4th and short here.
4th down and a long 3 here for the Raiders. Ball is at the 41-yard line. They need the 38. Snap to Jensen. Throw is outside and incomplete. And that'll be a turnover on downs. The pass was intended for Easton Oakley. Struck the nearest defender in coverage for the Knights, and that'll bring up the Knights offense for the second drive of the ball game.
4 plays and they're out.
So Stevens, with, like you just said, great field position, then goes 4 straight plays without picking up a first down, and just like that, the Knights will take over possession at their own 41-yard line. Snap, quick pop route over the middle to Rylan Satter, who picks up a first down and a little bit more.
About 15 yards on that play. 7 minutes in the first quarter. Knights up 6-0. Knights driving here early in the first quarter.
Number 2, Skinner. First and 10 Knights. Stevens 43.
He was wide open.
Yep. Danebring will come out of the gun. He'll take the snap. He'll fake the give. This time he'll throw another quick pass. This one intended for Satter. This one incomplete.
Danebring's pass intended for Satter falls incomplete.
Second down and 10.
A little cooling breeze coming. It's going to cool off here.
Second down and 10. Danebring flushed out of the pocket to his right. He'll throw on the run. He's got a receiver open. It's Peyton Hagee into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, baby.
It's complete to number 9, Peyton Hagee.
The junior does it again.
That was a 43-yard touchdown pass from Bennett Danebring to Peyton Hagee on the rollout to the right, throwing on the run. A textbook completion there.
3 plays.
73, Alex Clarkey.
Let's see if we can get the extra point here. Could come back and haunt us.
Number 7, Hayden Gross.
Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and that is good. So the Knights get back on the scoreboard again already here with 6:35 left. O'Gorman leads the Stevens Raiders 13-0 here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Did you know you can listen to the RPR network when you're on the go? Just search for Real Presence Radio in your app store. Listen live to any station across the network at any time, so you can stay connected to your local community from wherever you are. Plus, if you miss a program, the Real Presence Radio app is your one-stop shop for local and national podcasts, including our signature show, Real Presence Live. The Real Presence Radio app, with you every step of your faith journey. Download it today and see what you've been missing.
Hi, I'm Teresa Curley, Listener Relationship Coordinator for Eastern South Dakota, and I would like to personally invite you to the 4th Annual Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls Banquet on Tuesday, November 2nd at the Best Western Plus Ramkota Hotel. Social hour starts at 5:30 p.m., followed by a meal at 6:30, and Dr. Stacy Trasankos will be the keynote speaker. To register for the banquet, go to realpresenceradio.com/banquet or call or text me at 803-427-3961.
That scoring drive for O'Gorman has been brought to you by Closets & More, a locally owned company providing custom design closets and storage solutions. Closets & More can be reached at 605-334-5135 or online at sdclosetsandmore.com. That kick is muffed into the end zone, fielded now by Uriah Glynn. He's going to have to bring it out down the sideline. He'll make up some room.
Wow.
And be tackled at the 15-yard line.
That's something you don't want to see, but if you're a Stevens fan, yeah, he fouled into the end zone, and if he had went down, that would have been a safety.
Out to the 15-yard line.
He's got to bring it out. So they take over on the 15-yard line.
Tackle on the play by number 38, Easton Beavers.
Second possession for the Raiders. 6:30 to go here in the first quarter. Knights on top, 13-0.
Stevens will come out of the gun in a big full house set with the receivers in close. They'll give off to Uriah Glynn on the stretch play, who rumbles his way forward for a first down just at the marker. So give him 10 on first down, and that'll bring up a fresh set of chains. So Gorman has already picked up 136 yards so far of offense on 12 plays, which is some of their highest of the season besides last week in Rapid City Central, which were kind of forged numbers at times, as Glenn will carry up the middle with some room to run again, tackled by Struck at the 39-yard line.
That lane was wide open there for him, that gap. He just, they're blocking well. Like we mentioned, Goldie, 73, 6'8", 295. He's on the left side, so I think they're going to go left a lot.
3 receivers to the right. Uriah Glenn offset to the left. They'll send him in motion now to the right side. Jensen dropped the snap, and he can't get it off as he is sacked in the backfield by Skolton. Dominic Skolton, the senior, getting home to Jed Jensen after the muffed snap. And that'll drop the Raiders back 9 yards and bring up 2nd down and 19.
Loss of 9 brings up 2nd and 19.
Second down and 19 for the Raiders. Once again, they'll move Glenn in motion. Another low snap to Jensen. This time he's got to get rid of it. A flag down in the backfield. Jensen rolling out, throws it, tipped by Matacek, and incomplete.
I think it'll be holding.
But there's some laundry in the backfield, and I think that Shannon Poppinga elects to move them back 10 more. As a holding will bring the Raiders back 10 more yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 29.
But if you notice all these 3 plays here for Stevens.
Holding. 58. Decline.
Oh, never mind. They will decline it, so it'll be 3rd down and 19. I was going to say, you might as well move them back, but at the same time, 3rd and 19, if you can't get off the field there, you've got other problems.
But all these 3 snaps have been low, haven't they?
Yep.
So they got some mechanic issues to work on for Stevens. But I like the pressure they're putting on Jensen.
Absolutely. Something that you got to do is make him move around, but you got to also make sure you contain once you flush him outside of the pocket, because he's got the legs that'll beat you for a 1st down. Jensen out of the gun, straight drop back. He'll have time to throw. Now he'll roll around. He's got a lot of pressure in his face, wrapped up as he goes out of bounds at the sideline, right at the line of scrimmage. It was Anders Matacek all over him, and that'll bring up 4th down and 19. It looks like Matacek has drawn the assignment of more of the quarterback contain guy, just kind of running around the field on a QB spy, basically, with Jensen, as he's got the legs, like I said, to beat you on the ground.
So the ball's on the 30, and Stevens is going to punt here in their 2nd possession. Turned it over on downs their 1st. Kicker standing back at the 15.
That punt is a wobbly punt, going to be fielded by Jones. Doesn't fair catch, and will roll around down to the right side, right sideline, where he's finally brought out of bounds.
At the 45-yard line. So good possession, field possession for the Knights here as they start their 3rd drive. 4:31 to go in the 1st quarter. Knights on top, 13-0. Knights look pretty good so far.
Yeah, they're moving the ball pretty effectively right now, especially on the ground, and then that connection with Hagee through the air. So here we are, 3rd drive of the game. It's going to be Dannenbring out of the gun. He'll take the snap, drop a quick little screen pass over to Ryland Satter, who's on the ground, moving just shy of the 1st down yardage.
Satter under reception out of the backfield. Tackled by number 2, Skinner.
2nd down and 1. Gain of about 9.5 yards for Satter there. Second down and 1. It's going to be Jones up the middle. A lot of room to run. Wrapped up finally down inside the 30.
About 14, 15 yards on that run. Takes it down to the 29.5-yard line. He just gets right down in there and just kind of slides through there. Good run by Jones.
So a 19-yard pickup on 2nd and 1. Handoff up the middle, and on 1st down, it looks like Jones is going to get about 3.
Gain of 3.
Bring up second down and 7.
Back by number 48, Austin Schulke. Number 3, Tate Crossway.
3:09 left here in the first quarter. The Knights moving the ball once again down inside the 26-yard line. Snap to Dannenbring. He'll loft the pass down the sideline. Caught by Hagee into the end zone. Touchdown O'Gorman.
Well, we got laundry on the field.
I believe it's going to be a defensive holding.
It's got to be because Hagee was just going and he got held up
He
there.
was getting draped all over the back.
Yep.
It looks like O'Gorman sending out the PAT unit, so it should be a touchdown here as Dannenbring drops one in the bucket.
That was a 28-yard.
Decline. Touchdown.
To Hagee, that's 2 touchdowns tonight for Hagee.
Oh, damn.
I'm not saying anything. Just
Hagee on to kick the extra point. That one a rocket through the goalpost. And that'll make it 20-0 here in the first quarter. The Knights lead 20-0 over the Stevens Raiders. Stay tuned for more here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Real Presence Radio is available on Alexa-enabled devices, including Amazon Echo, phones, tablets, and smart displays. To enable the skill, just say, Alexa, enable Real Presence Radio. To listen, say something like, Alexa, open Real Presence Radio. It will then ask what station you want to play, to which you can respond, play Sioux Falls, or play AM 970, or play WWEN. From there, you can use commands like play, pause, and stop. Listen to RPR anytime, anywhere on Alexa-enabled devices.
Welcome back to Real Presence Radio Network here as the O'Gorman Heights scoring drive has been brought to you by Closets & More, a locally owned company providing custom design closets and storage solutions. Closets & More can be reached at 605-334-5135 or online at sdclosetsandmore.com.
3 possessions, 3 scores for the Knights.
That last drive, a 5-play, 61-yard scoring drive, capped off by the 27-yard touchdown reception from Peyton Hagee. That kick is pooched up in the air and then will sail out of bounds.
What was that? Whoa. And they're going to give them the ball at the 27-yard line, 28-yard line, 29 he's walking up. Not much of a kick at all there. They take it all the way up to 34.
35. That's
Not
where
much
they'll
of-
start.
not much of a kick.
Yep. When it goes out of bounds, they'll get it placed at the 35. As Jensen and the Raiders come back out on their second drive of the ball game, or third drive of the ball game now, excuse me. Jensen takes the snap, gives it to Uriah Glynn, where he is met in the backfield by David Alpers, who sticks it to Glynn for a loss of 5 yards. That was a beautiful play by David Alpers.
And we got to give a shout out to David's parents. Prayers to David's dad. I know he had some procedure yesterday, and I know he's back home, so prayers and thinking of you. And I'm not sure if he's here tonight, but he had a hard week. So, oh my God, there he is. I just see him walking right there. Jeez. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't see him.
Right below us.
Oh, yep. Jensen out of the gun. He's got a receiver wide open on a busted coverage down the right side of the field. Struck's going to have to chase down Troka-Moinen. Can't get to him, and it's a touchdown. And now there's a penalty flag thrown on the O'Gorman sideline, it looks like.
Stevens pass from the quarterback, Jensen.
They're going to call a sideline warning as the ref must have ran into someone on the O'Gorman sideline.
It's complete for a touchdown. Number 14, Alex.
That was a 70-yard touchdown.
In 2 plays.
Number 14, Alex. Onen.
Who'd they call that flag on?
The sideline. They were on the field, like past where they can be standing, and the ref ran into him while he was running down the sideline, so that's a warning. So that extra point is up and good, so the Stevens Raiders get back on the board. It's 20-17, Knights lead with 2:01 left in the first quarter as we get ready to take a break here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness is a third-generation family-owned chiropractic practice whom have been proudly serving the people of Sioux Falls and the Sioux Empire region since 1947. Dr. Eric Ferendorf, a 1999 O'Gorman alum, practices alongside his wife, Dr. Larissa Ferendorf. Dr. Larissa specializes in applied kinesiology and clinical nutrition. Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness is located on the northwest corner of 49th Street and Southeastern Avenue, 605-334-8000, or online at ferendorfchiropractic.com.
At McGuire Iron, we protect and store quality water for people and communities across the country. We are family owned and operated and have been building and maintaining America's water tower infrastructure for over 100 years. We pride ourselves on using faith principles in our business practices every day. This deep faith in the church is why we support the Bishop O'Gorman Catholic School System. From all of us at McGuire Iron and the Jones family, we wish all O'Gorman students and student athletes good luck this year.
Welcome back to O'Gorman. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Knights up 20-7. That big 70-yard pass by Rapid City Stevens there for the touchdown on their third possession of the game as they get ready to kick off here, short kickoff with that penalty here for against the Knights.
Oh, sorry. I had to go update the pronunciation of Alex Trocamoinen to our PA announcer here at O'Gorman High School.
I'm Norwegian. I have a hard time with that one.
So the Knights will come back here on the offensive end as they've been hot as all get out today.
There was a touchback, so the ball will be placed at the 20-yard line here.
The Knights have gained just shy of 200 yards of offense so far, 196, and 3 scores in the opening quarter. This is a run outside to Maverick Jones. He's got room to run down the sideline, then bounces off of a tackle, and he'll pick up a first down on a 16-yard gain.
Well, he threw him down, too. Tackle was made by Tanner Ludens. He just threw Jones down.
This is just a little screen pass over to Rylan Satter, who stiff arms a defender to the ground, and then will pick up 4 yards.
So it'll be
tackled by number 2, Skinner. Number 44, McNabb.
3rd and 5.
Gain of 5. Goes up 2nd and 5 for the Knights. Throw the 40-yard line.
Dannenbring will come out of the gun, 2nd down and 5. He'll give to Jones up the middle. Jones has room to run, then bulldozes into a defender, and he's going to pick up the first down on the ground.
Jones on the carry once again. Earns the first down for the Knights. Tackled up by number 2, Skinner.
We talked in the pregame how these, I call them super sophomores, have picked up.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be first down and 10. Ball at the 45-yard line. Dannenbring will fake the screen to the left. He'll roll out to the right with room to run. Dannenbring just shy of the first down. They're going to give it to him. It'll be a 10-yard run.
That was a nice move by Dannenbring there. We didn't see that in the first 2-3 games.
Nice pickup there by Dannenbring. And with 41 seconds left here in the first quarter, the Knights have the ball at the 45-yard line and are driving. Dannenbring will come out of the gun, feet planted at the 50-yard line, 3 receivers to the left. Dannenbring snap, quick out over to Preston Konechki. He'll be tackled just shy of the first down marker and out of bounds, so the clock will stop. He's a yard shy of the first down.
22 seconds to go here.
Tackled by number 4, Porter Doney.
Second down. Yep, 2nd down and 1. Dannenbring will give to Jones down the right side. He's going to pick up about 10 yards. They're going to give him 9. And that should do it for the quarter. So the Knights will jog off the field here as they lead 20-7 at the end of one here at O'Gorman High School. Stay tuned for more Knights football after the break on Real Presence Radio Network.
Hi, this is Brett Byler, Area Account Executive with Real Presence Radio. Did you know the signal of Real Presence Radio reaches an audience of over 2.4 million people across North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, and Wyoming? Have you ever thought about running radio spots on the RPR network? We want to partner with you to help gain exposure for your business in front of a very faithful customer base. To find out more about the options, please call me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
Here at Catholic Family Services, we believe counseling is for everyone. Catholic Family Services is here to help whether you are navigating a life transition, such as going to college or changing career paths, wanting to improve your communication skills, making plans for your future family, or wanting to understand mental health. If you would like more information or to set up an appointment with one of our trained professionals, call Catholic Family Services at 605-988-3775.
Hey, welcome back here. We get ready to start the second quarter here at McEnany Field here in Sioux Falls. Gorman leads 20-7 here, and Gorman has had 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, and they're on their 4th possession here as we start the second quarter.
First down and 10. Dannenbring will roll out to his left. He's going to throw a tough pass off of his foot. Caught in the back corner of the end zone. Preston Konechny.
Nice ball.
What a beautiful toss from Bennett Dannenbring. And Preston Konechny is on the reception for the touchdown.
I thought maybe it was going to be an INT.
That was a 32-yard reception.
Goes to home. Stepping the PAT will be number 15, Andrew Nelson.
A lot of scoring here early in the ball game here.
Nelson's kick, was that blocked?
Yes, it's blocked. That makes it 26-7 here with 11:52 in the second quarter. Knights on top.
What
4
a nice,
possessions, 4 scoring drives.
Steven 7. Some other scores.
We'll just keep it right here as that O'Gorman scoring drive was brought to you by Closets & More, a locally owned company providing custom design closets and storage solutions. Closets & More can be reached at 605-334-5135 or online at closetandmoresd.com.
Brandon and Mitchell yet to come. Jefferson and Lincoln play at 6 o'clock tomorrow at Howard Wood Field.
You know, I've been to a game for 3 weeks, and I can see they've made a lot of adjustments.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Like we talked in the pregame, we're moving this guy to the line, Ratcliffe now on the line, and with running back and stuff. So we needed a protection up there, and we're getting it now. Stuff. So they made the adjustments. So Knights get ready to kick off here. 26-7, beginning of the second quarter. Knights on top.
Kick deep into the back right corner of the end zone. Run out here by Uriah Glenn, where he's tackled by a couple of Knights.
Runs it out about the 31-yard line is where they're going to mark it here for the Raiders as they start
Number 18.
Their 4th possession of the ball game.
In on the tackle with Knights, among others.
So a stats update here from Mr. Ken Lindemann, who's been providing us some stats as he gives me a text update. O'Gorman has picked up 11 first downs right now with 116 rushing yards on the ground, 138 through the air. Dannenbring 7 of 9 for 138. O'Gorman's run 22 plays for 254 yards of offense. That ball has come out and then right back into the hands of number 5, Caden Nelson. Alpers just poked that thing right out.
Wow. That'd have been sweet if Gorman would have got that Fumble there on the
Number 5
30.
is on the receiving end on that short pass. Number 5, Caden Nelson.
Good replay there on the board there.
Jack White and Carter Peterson combined for the tackle for the Knights.
So Stevens will come out of the gun. It was just a gain of 1 yard. First down and 10. Or excuse me, second down and 9. Jensen out of the pocket. Gotta let it ride down the field. Incomplete. Intended for, I believe that was number 5 again, Caden Nelson.
Who was there to defend him? Who was
in defense there, I believe was...
I can't read that number, sorry. Theobald is back there.
Yep, I think that was Theobald, and then Nelson was somewhat close in the area.
Excellent job by that sophomore. I thought he did a fabulous job defending that ball. He knew to stay home there and didn't get the penalty.
That last pass was from Jensen to Nelson.
Third down and 9. Jensen takes the snap, drops back to pass. He's got pressure in his face, and he's sacked by David Alpers. Alpers getting home. And that'll bring up fourth down and what seems like forever here.
10-yard loss. 4th and 20, Isaac.
That's a big defensive play by David Alpers. Once again, making his presence known.
Jones is back deep for the Knights.
Wow. Number 4. Where'd you go to, Brett? South Dakota State, I believe, right? Yeah.
Here comes the punt. A lot of pressure, nearly blocked by the club of Manny Struck, as that one will roll down inside the 40, down to the 30. Ooh, man, that lands right on the 36-yard line.
I thought he had it.
A couple of Knights came through.
44-yard punt.
No flags, no laundry, so Knights will take over on the 36-yard line.
10 Knights at their own 36-yard line.
I'd like to see that replay on that one. He was so close to blocking that.
Knights will come out here offensively. Snap to snap to Dannenbrink, give to Jones for 5 yards.
Jones on the carry. Tackled by number 24, Gebhardt.
I like the play calling by Poppenga tonight. He's mixing it up good. Keeping the Raiders off balance.
Dannenbrink will come out of the gun. He'll give it to Jones along the right side. Maverick Jones, room to run down the sideline, and he'll step out of bounds.
Oh, 20.
Jones on the carry.
What a 20-yard pickup. They mark it at the Raiders 39.
Number 19, Hunter Brunner, pushes Jones out of bounds for the tackle.
Knights driving, 9:36 to go here in the first half.
Dannenbrink out of the gun, takes a snap, he'll fake to Jones, he'll roll out pass. He's got Satter wide open, catches it on the sideline, running down and brought down, but not after a 13-yard reception for Ryland Satter.
He gets out there wide open, doesn't he?
Yep.
Ryland Satter.
He just kind of sneaks out there and takes a slant over.
27-yard line of the Raiders.
And the Raiders have yet to pick him up on the defense.
So here comes Dannenbrink out of the gun, first down and 10. Ball is at the 36-yard line. Snap to Dannenbrink, drops back to pass. He's got all day to throw, delivers a ball down near the 20-yard line, caught by Peyton Hagee at the 16. And that'll bring up another first down for the Knights.
Number 9, Hagee. Tackled by number 4, Doney. Not before another Knight. First down.
15-yard line. Knights driving here.
First down and 10, ball at the 16-yard line. O'Gorman continuously driving the ball down the field here in the first half. Snap, Dannenbrink, give, Jones along the side. off the tackle and wrapped up just inside the 15-yard line. They'll give him the 13. Gain of 3 on first down.
Jones on the carry. Hunter-Brunner on the tackle once again.
He's quick. I like what the line's doing tonight. I haven't seen that all year. The line's doing their job.
So the Knights will come out with a tight end and fullback to the right side. It'll just be a fade route to the back corner of the end zone out of the outstretched arms of Rush Landry and incomplete. That'll bring up third down and 7.
Nice ball. Nice ball, though.
Number 8, Rush Landry.
Third and long here.
Knights will come out of the gun. 2 receivers to each side, a tight end and fullback on the right side, and Jones offset a Dannenbrink to the right as well. Snap, fake of the give to Jones. Dannenbrink rolling out. He's got a little bit of room. He throws it behind the intended receiver of Hagee, as Alpers was also in the area and had been wrapped up to the ground, it looked like. That'll bring up fourth down and 7.
Dannenbrink's pass.
So after the 2 missed, and now they will bring out the field goal unit.
Boy, they kind of hesitated, didn't they?
Lining up for the field goal attempt, number 9, Peyton Hagee.
31-yard attempt.
Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up, and that is no good.
Whoa.
Kick is no good.
Out of 5 drives tonight, that's the first one that comes up empty for the Knights. Knights still on top, 26-7 with 7:54 here, and the Raiders will take over on their own 20.
Make sure you hit the concession stand. Hot dogs, pizza, popcorn, candy, Coke product.
Snap to Jensen, give to Uriah Glynn along the outside. Nope, it's going to be Jensen keeping it along the outside, and now he's out of bounds.
Carried by number 6, quarterback Jensen.
Pushed out of bounds by Andrew Nelson. Gain of 5 for the Raiders.
Nice crowd here tonight. New Gorman side.
Snap and give to Uriah Glynn, rolling around the left side, where he'll be wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be third down and 5. 7:36 left in the second quarter. The Knights on top 26-7. If you're just joining us on Real Presence Radio, this is about the best the Knights have looked on the offensive end against an opponent worthy of stopping them on defense.
You know, somebody commented to me, last week, you and I and Brett and the JV probably could have beat Central last week. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, I'm not as quick as I used to be.
Hey, that doesn't matter. We'll put you in somewhere where we don't need the speed.
Okay, so we got a timeout here, 7:20.
Knights lead 26-7 here in the second quarter. More football on Knights Real Presence Radio.
Real Presence Radio is available on Google Assistant devices, including Google Home, phones, tablets, and smart displays. To start this action, say something like, "Okay, Google, talk to Real Presence Radio." It will then ask what station you want to play, to which you can respond, "Play Sioux Falls," or "Play AM 970," or "Play WWEN." From there, you can use words like play, pause, and stop. Listen to RPR anytime, anywhere on Google Assistant devices.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School here on Real Presence Radio Network. You're listening to Knights football on a beautiful, balmy evening here at the MAC.
Season's just 2 weeks away, a week away. Next Saturday.
Jed Jensen and the Stevens Raiders will get ready on 3rd down and 5 from their own 25-yard line. Snap to Jensen. Jensen looks to pass. He's going to roll out. Now he's going to break away from a tackle where he's stood up by Matichek and then stays on his feet and picks up a first down. He spun in the Matichek, and the way he spun just allowed him to bounce right off of what would have been a forceful hit from Anders Matichek. But at the same time, you just got to wrap up.
They would have held him there at the line. He was just, when he held him up there right at the first down marker, but first down now for the Raiders.
35-yard line.
Under 7 minutes here in the second quarter.
Jensen will come out of the gun. He'll send Glenn in motion from left to right. Jensen took a step backwards. Should have been a false start. Now he's going to roll out, have to dump a pass off incomplete, as Satter got some good pressure on the back foot of Jensen.
Elpers comes in for Landry to take a breather.
Here's a wild stat for you. You know, both picks to click are looking good tonight. Maverick Jones on the ground so far per the stats. Once again, thank you to Ken Lindemann for providing the stats for the O'Gorman football. 13 rushes, 119 yards. Over 100 yards in a quarter and a half.
I didn't pick him until I was watching warm-ups tonight.
Yep.
I got here looking out, looking at him, going, okay. And after reading what happened, get him.
Fumbled snap. Jensen has to pick it up off the turf, then drops a pass in over the middle, where then he is wrapped up on a nice tackle by Jack White.
Number 18, Jack White on the tackle.
Illegal motion, I believe. Yep.
Number 12, Charlie Peterson.
So it looks like it's a holding. No, false start, was it? Legal motion?
Yep.
Oh, illegal shift.
Illegal motion.
Or illegal motion, there we go.
5-yard penalty, 8-second down.
So back up the Raiders 5 yards to the 30.
Second long.
Jensen will come out with an empty set here. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Take the snap, drop back to pass. Jensen all day to throw. He's going to launch one down the middle of the field where it is picked off by Preston Konechny. Now he's got room to run down the sideline. Avoids one tackle, cuts back, makes another man miss. Out across the 50, down across the 45, and he winds up being tackled on the sideline at the 42. Nope, they're going to give him the 45-yard line.
No flags. Good. Well, there was 3 defenders covering there.
Big turnover there for the Knights.
They called that. They knew they were going to go long like that.
74, Tanner Otten.
Knights were ready for that. Shannon had the defense ready for that
First down,
one.
Knights. Stevens, 45-yard line.
Good field position now for the Knights.
Danenbring will fake the give, keep along the right side. He's going to make a couple people miss and then wind up picking up 12 yards down the sideline where he steps out of bounds.
Stops the clock with 6:08 here. Knights driving, ball on the 33-yard line.
Stevens, 33.
Should we talk about the your team the other night? We got to talk about it a little bit more. The Bucks.
Well,
And
here's
the
we'll get to that.
Yeah. I got to rub that in. The Bucks won.
Snap, Danenbring will fake the give. He'll throw it once again out to Satter. All room to run as he breaks free of one tackle down inside the 15-yard line, down to the 13-yard line.
They've called that, 4 times now? 5 times? That play?
Yep.
Now, if you don't know, folks, Isaac's a big New England Patriot fan. And I'm usually like who's ever playing them.
Good one. Snap, give to Jones up the middle for 5 yards. Oh, living rent-free.
Oh, Brady came home. Now he's the all-time passing leader in the NFL. He took over for Drew Brees, and Brees was there and watched it.
I'm surprised Drew Brees didn't run out and shake his hand.
So Okay, now we're in scoring position.
Snap, give. Jones up the middle, bulldozing his way forward. Down inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. Nope,
First
they're going to
down.
give him the 3. Another first down for O'Gorman.
First and goal.
Jones carries the ball.
Clock stops at the chains. 5:14 before half.
First down. First and goal, Knights.
26-7. Knights just playing spectacular football tonight. This is their 6th drive, and they've scored 4 out of 6.
Movement up front. I think that's going to back the Knights up, maybe. Nope, offside. So they say that the encroachment.
Half the distance.
Dead ball, both sides. Stevens, first down.
Jones off the tackle into the end zone. And the Knights continue to pour it on here in the first half. The off-tackle run for Maverick Jones and into the end zone.
Makes it 32-7. Extra point coming up here. And I think they're going to try to get it back. Get that. You're going to go for 2 here? Yep.
So the Knights will come out, run the 2-point conversion here. They'll snap, they'll give to Jones. Bulldoze his way into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
That offensive line is just doing everything tonight right. Just playing spectacular football. 34-7, 4:47 to go here in the second quarter. Knights on top. You're listening to Gorman Football on Real Presence Radio.
Real Presence Radio is available on Alexa-enabled devices, including Amazon Echo, phones, tablets, and smart displays. To enable the skill, just say, Alexa, enable Real Presence Radio. To listen, say something like, Alexa, open Real Presence Radio. It will then ask what station you want to play, to which you can respond, play Sioux Falls, or play AM 970, or play WWEN. From there, you can use commands like play, pause, and stop. Listen to RPR anytime, anywhere on Alexa-enabled devices.
Hello, this is Mark Konzemius, president of the Catholic Community Foundation for Eastern South Dakota. Preparing for the end of life can be overwhelming, even scary. Yet as disciples of Christ, we live in great hope and the reality of God's promise that death is not the end, but a new beginning. The End of Life Planning Workbook for Catholics is now available. I encourage you to reach out to one of our Catholic Community Foundation offices or ccfesd.org. May God bless each of us on our journey to heaven.
Okay, welcome back here to Gorman. And we have a touchback here. Stevens will take over at the 20-yard line.
First and 10, Stevens. At your own 20-yard line.
But the offense has just looked phenomenal tonight. Other than that missed field goal, offense has just played spectacular tonight.
So the Raiders will come out first down and 10. Ball at the 20-yard line. Snap, give to Uriah Glynn where he's stuffed up the middle. The first Knights defender there was, it looked like Easton Beavers.
I can't read his number.
Ethan Beavers in on
Yep,
the
it was
tackle.
Beavers.
He a wrestler too, like his brother?
I believe so.
Oh, his brother was a stud wrestler.
Jensen flushed out to his left. He'll roll out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Quarterback Glenn.
Now,
quarterback
good heads-up play by Carter Peterson to rush him out. Carter could have pushed him. He just let him go. You know he was going out of bounds, let him go.
Yep.
You see that in a lot of other teams, you know, they're going to give him that extra shove. Well, that could come in the laundry, could come flying out then, but heads-up play by Carter Peterson there. Good sportsmanship.
So it's 3rd down and 13 for the Raiders with 4:03 left here in the second quarter. This is the biggest lead the Knights have had on the evening. And now we've got a timeout for Rapid City Stevens. That'll be their first of the half.
Stevens.
We'll just keep it right here. So with 4:03 left, the Knights have moved the ball incredibly effectively. And a couple of scoreboard updates I'll get to now here as Sioux Falls, Washington leads Sioux Falls Roosevelt 17-13 with 1 minute left in the second quarter. Harrisburg all over Rapid City Central 41-6. That game at Harrisburg right now with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. And then Mitchell and Brandon Valley will kick off at 7, and Jefferson at Lincoln will kick off tomorrow at 6 in Double-A.
So the Washington Roosevelt, 17-13, minute left in the first half. That kind of surprised you a little bit, Washington?
You know, Roosevelt's coming around a little bit. They whooped Jefferson last week.
I saw that. I like this app. You know, when you're out of state, you can see what's going on and check out the games. But I'd like to see Roosevelt come on top and beat Washington. That'd be in our favor.
Yeah.
3rd and long here for Stevens.
Jensen over the middle of the field. He's got a receiver open, caught for a first down.
Actually, he had 2 receivers. He didn't see 26 coming across. 26 is wide open as well. Break of coverage here for the Knights. First down, clock runs 3:52.
Snap to Jensen. He'll drop back to pass. He's got a double move out of his receiver. Trokamoyan striking over the middle of the field. Jensen will take off on his feet, pick up 4 yards, and run out of bounds.
Jensen scrambles, knocked out of bounds.
So you were late tonight? You did CPR training?
Yeah, I had to get my CPR certification done. It's supposed to be from 4 to 7. I knocked that baby out in an hour.
Because you excel in your studies.
Yeah, that's what I look forward to, is excelling in studies and calling O'Gorman football games and teaching. That pass is caught by Glynn, tipped it into his own hands, now runs down the sideline near the 40 across the numbers inside to the 36-yard line. As Glynn caught the screen pass, tipped it off his fingers, avoided the first tackle, and now the Raiders have a little bit of momentum here heading inside the 35-yard line. Oh, yep, they're going to mark him at the 36.
They were
3:25 left.
They were close to sacking Jensen back there. He was rushed.
Jensen all day to throw as a receiver. Wide open over the middle. It's tipped into the air and incomplete. That was almost tipped into the hands of a Stevens receiver, like some Madden type of play where it's just bouncing around everywhere.
I love them tip balls.
Oh, yeah.
That is so fun
Nothing
to watch.
gets you
in
more excited.
In slow motion, especially afterwards.
Yep.
Is how the players are going for it, and they just lay themselves out.
Yep. Or I just love how you try to, in a slow motion on TV, you see them all try to quickly stop their feet as fast as they can and change direction, and it never really works out quite like how they want it to.
2nd and 10.
Dropping back to pass as Jensen flushed out to his right, nearly tackled by Skolton, then stiff arms Peterson out of the way, and then Peterson is able to find the legs to wrap up Jensen right shy of the line of scrimmage, so it's a loss of 1.
Stays in bounds. Clock continues to run under 3 minutes.
Good job by Peterson to continue to contain that out, or to contain Jensen as he ran to the outside and never give up on that tackle, and finally got him still shy of the first of the line of scrimmage, so technically credited for a sack there. At least a tackle for loss. Jensen has got pressure coming in from Alpers, who couldn't get to him, and now throws off his back foot. That one is nearly intercepted by Jack White.
Oh. The pressure that we're putting on him is outstanding.
The Knights have been able to get to Jensen almost all night. 2:26 left here in the first half. It's 4th down and 11.
This is where we want to be. 2 games left going into the playoffs. 8 teams make the playoffs. Be nice if we get up to number 4 and host a home game.
Jensen will come out of the gun, 4th down and 11. Drop back to pass. He's got all day to throw. Now runs into some of pressure, and he's going to be sacked by David Alpers.
He ran into brick wall.
He first ran into Skolton, then bounced off of Skolton, and Alpers came and cleaned it up.
And that was a turnover on downs there. It was 4th down, so the Knights take over on the 45-yard line, their own 45.
Alpers playing some of his best football of the season this ball game on the defensive side of things. He's been all over the backfield.
And we're going to see the O'Gorman Knights band here at halftime as they're coming out here on the track to get ready. The Marching Knights.
2:19 here. Ball at the 45-yard line. Dannenbrink takes the snap, fakes the give to Jones. He rolls out. He's got Rush Landry on a wheel route over the middle. It's caught. Down inside the 10-yard line to the 8. And what a beautiful ball from Bennett Dannenbrink right into the receiver's hands. And it's 1st down and goal.
That was textbook ball, wasn't it?
Man, Dannenbrink really dropped that dime in there. And the Knights' offense has been looking incredibly efficient this evening.
Okay, have you been working with him?
No, I wish. I wish I could say I was.
I mean, seriously, because it looks like he's totally changed.
Yeah, I think part of the deal is that he's settling into the Knights' offense a little bit here and getting back to more of his style of football within the offense. As Dannenbrink will keep around the right side, he'll just walk his way right into the end zone. Touchdown, O'Gorman.
Dannenbrink, the keeper, 8-yard run. Takes it to 40-7, minute 48 to go in half as we come for the extra point here. Dannenbrink doesn't look like he did anything like the first few games. And this team is fired up, folks. Extra point is good, so 41-7, minute 48 to go here at halftime at McEnany Field. You're listening to Gorman Football on Real Presence Radio.
I'm Bishop Donald DeGrood. I'd like to invite you to the Through God's Love Conference on Saturday, October 30th at the Sioux Falls Convention Center. Over the last few months, we've been spreading the word about the diocesan vision, lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. Now I'd like to invite you to participate in this conference, where we will help you respond to God's call and in turn help others know and love Him themselves. Visit sfcatholic.org and join me in the renewal the Holy Spirit is working in our diocese.
Hey, here we go. Minute 48, 41-7. Knights all over Stevens. You know, I've missed the last 3 games. And I tell you what, these guys have complete 180 than when I seen them.
Maybe it's good luck that you're back.
Well, something's
changed.
Something's changed.
You went to Notre Dame and you brought back some of that
I went
power.
to the Holy Land, got my rosary blessed and everything. And so we're,
That scoring drive for O'Gorman was brought to you by Closets & More, a locally owned company providing custom-designed closets and storage solutions. Closets & More can be reached at 605-334-5135 or online at closetsandmoresd.com. Gosh, though, next time I butcher that, I might just have to throw it out the window.
Join the club. And we ready to kick off here?
Hagee sends this one into the end zone. Real Presence Radio. Kickoff return down across the 25.
Tony on the return.
Man, I can't wait to see these stats from Mr. Ken Lindemann himself here at halftime.
Doesn't he do a fabulous job?
Well, he does a more fabulous job in the
classroom.
He was actually Teacher of the Year candidate and won.
And yet he was one of the 5 that won.
Yep.
Excellence. What was that campaign called? Teacher in Excellence. You got a nice check.
Snap and give to Uriah Glynn, where he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Now, this has been a very impressive first half for O'Gorman, because Rapid City Stevens is no walkover opponent by any means. Stevens, a 14-point loss to Brandon Valley, a win over Roosevelt, a close game with Jefferson heading into the half. They played Harrisburg somewhat close at the beginning of their game, and then Harrisburg really pulled away late. But Stevens, a very capable team, and they had a good game against Lincoln as well. And O'Gorman coming out here and absolutely taking it to them here in the first half. We'll see if that changes in the second half, as this is a sweep along the outside. Knocked out of bounds. That was number 4, Quarter Donnie.
Stops the clock, 47 seconds.
And the big story of the day has been not allowing Jensen any time to actually get anything out. I mean, when he's had time to throw, there's been receivers covered downfield. When he hasn't had time to throw, there has been receivers open, but he's been flushed out of the pocket so much rolling out that he hasn't had time to assess what's open downfield. And that's just kind of been the story of the game so far, is things just aren't necessarily clicking on the offensive side of the ball for the Raiders. And speaking of not clicking, here's a timeout by head coach Michael Scott. We'll keep it right here.
So, on that note, we haven't had any holding on the offensive line. No offside in offensive line tonight for the Knights. The mental mistakes that Brett and I talked about in pregame, that's one thing they've kind of come into play here. They're not making the mental mistakes that they did on the first 3-4 games of the year, correct?
Yeah, no, it has been.
And so tonight, I'm going to say it's the best football they can play, but I tell you what, they're doing pretty darn good. You only brought one?
Thanks. I'll share.
Mike just got his own butler service here.
Yeah, thank you to my father for bringing up some popcorn up to the concession stand.
He forgets about the little people.
Mm-hmm. Jensen rolling out.
Yeah!
Brought down in the backfield for a sack.
That Carter?
I think that was Carter Peter. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, that was Preston Cheddar that got to him. Oh, that was Jacobson? Gosh.
Wow. Clock continues to run. 30 seconds. Will they get the ball off here?
A little surprised that O'Gorman didn't call timeout and try to get into the backfield, but also you're up 41-7. You might as well just.
They're gonna let it go. They're not gonna punt.
So that'll do it for your first half here at O'Gorman High School. The Knights lead 41-7 over the Stevens Raiders. Stay tuned for the Knights halftime show after the break on Real Presence Radio Network.
Barnett Vision Clinic in Sioux Falls offers comprehensive eye exams to assess their patients' eye health, including students and young athletes. At Barnett Vision Clinic, we offer a variety of glasses, contacts, and sunglasses to fit our patients' needs, including brands such as Oakley, Ray-Ban, Nike, Kate Spade, and Nano Vista glasses for kids. Dr. James Barnett is a proud O'Gorman alumni and St. Michael's parishioner. To schedule an appointment, we can be reached at 605-335-7757 or online at barnettvisionclinic.com.
J&J Caseworks and Closets and More is a proud sponsor of the O'Gorman Knights. Following the same rich, winning tradition, family, and Christian values, J&J Caseworks strives to create a work environment to call home. Family-owned and operated, J&J Caseworks has several full-time positions available. Our team members pursue career goals, learn new skills, and get the recognition they deserve. To set up an appointment, J&J Caseworks can be reached at 605-332-0805 or email jobs@jmjcaseworks.com. Go Knights!
Your family is depending on you to provide financial security for them. The Knights of Columbus can help you with insurance solutions such as disability income, long-term care, both term and whole life, annuities, retirement, and estate planning services. Join the Knights of Columbus today at kfc.org/join us for access to all these insurance services. Call the BB Agency at 605-882-8689. That's 605-882-8689.
Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street in Sioux Falls offers a daily buffet featuring a variety of pizza choices, salad bar, and chicken. Pizza Ranch has a spacious dining room as well as 8 party rooms that fit different group sizes. Their online menu provides another option for their customers to order from. Pizza Ranch is located across from O'Gorman High School on 41st Street and can be contacted by calling 271-8646. Pizza Ranch is a strong supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
From the Real Presence Radio Network, welcome to the O'Gorman Knights Halftime Show. Brought to you by your Knights of Columbus field agents for the Sioux Falls area, Jeff Gillen and Phil Carlson.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School as the O'Gorman Knights lead 41-17 at the half in what has been an absolute offensive performance of all kinds. Yes, perfect. As we are now joined by Ken Lindemann, we just want to say thank you for all you do for us up in the booth and everyone around, as he has been providing stats to us all game long. Now, talking about some of those stats, O'Gorman, you're not going to believe this as you hear it here, but O'Gorman 19 first downs, 37 plays of offense for 431 total yards in the first half.
Ouch!
They've gained 11.6 yards per play. Dannenbring is 12 of 16 for 254 yards, and I believe 3 touchdowns. Yep, 3 touchdowns. And Maverick Jones has 17 rushes for 140 yards and 2 scores.
So is that the most, Brett, you need to go to the archives. Is that the most yards in a half for the Knights? It's got to be close.
I have no idea. It's got to be close. I mean, that was an and you have to remember they had what would have been a field goal kicked in that didn't happen, and then I feel like there was also another. Yeah, whatever the point is, it's been a phenomenal first half offensively for the Knights, and an even better half defensively, as they've only given up 1 70-yard touchdown to Stevens, a team that typically has the ability to beat you on explosive plays, but to keep them at 7 points through a half of football is great defense.
I think they're playing textbook football tonight. You look at, like we talked earlier, right before a half, the mental mistakes. The first half weren't there. There was no offsides. There was no holding. Dannenbring had all kinds of time to throw. Dannenbring was not sacked the first half. So, I mean, you take that into consideration. They've been playing, and the guys are getting open. It's just been phenomenal. Fun to watch. Yeah. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. So we're going to get ready to take a break as we've got the band on the field here, as we will tune in live now with the O'Gorman Marching Band under the direction of Ben Koch in their halftime performance here on Real Presence Radio Network.
You've been enjoying the O'Gorman Knights Marching Band. We're going to take a break. It's halftime, 41-7, Knights on top. You're listening to O'Gorman Football on Real Presence Radio.
Jardine Construction is a general contractor of custom homes, remodeling, and commercial construction. Jardine Construction works in close cooperation with project owners and customers when developing a plan for a building or home. Jardine Construction has lots available in Sioux Falls, Hartford, and Humboldt. Mark can be reached at 605-951-1803 and Tom at 605-261-6174.
Did you know you can listen to the RPR network when you're on the go? Just search for Real Presence Radio in your app store. Listen live to any station across the network at any time, so you can stay connected to your local community from wherever you are. Plus, if you miss a program, the Real Presence Radio app is your one-stop shop for local and national podcasts, including our signature show, Real Presence Live. The Real Presence Radio app, with you every step of your faith journey. Download it today and see what you've been missing.
Welcome back to Inside O'Gorman, sponsored by the Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools. I'm now joined by O'Gorman boys golf coach Tom Jansa. First off, coach, congrats. Your boys finished first in the state meet this past Monday and Tuesday in Huron, winning in a 2-hole playoff over Sioux Falls Lincoln in a big comeback in day 2. First off, you had 4 boys competing in William, Radley, Jacob, and Liam, who previously competed at the state golf meet, and 2 that hadn't before in Will and Mac. What was your expectations, coach, for your team heading into the state meet and being around the boys? Beforehand, did you get a sense of their confidence level heading into it? And also, did you have a feeling it might come down between you and Lincoln as well to find out who wins it?
Well, yeah, we certainly, battled Lincoln all year long. And I added all the shots up for the year. We played 12 tournaments and 3,600 shots, and we were only 18 shots apart for the whole year. So we definitely knew a lot about them. There were a couple other teams around the state that had a good tournament or two, but none with the consistency. And when it comes down to the pressure of the state tournament, we went in pretty focused on the likelihood that it was going to be us and Lincoln for sure.
And let's get to that state tournament now, Coach. Day 1, your team shot a 309, 7 shots back from Lincoln, led by Jacob with a 75 and Radley with a 76. Overall, what was your assessment of your team's play in day 1 of the state meet?
Okay. It's a 36-hole tournament. So, you always go out the first day kind of not knowing what's going to happen, but always knowing that you'll be able to kind of, just if you can stay within shouting distance at least, if you're not on top, we can always make some changes and then come back that second day. And with as deep a team as we had, all 6 players being able to shoot a low number, that is a hugely important attribute attribute for a team to have at the state tournament, which they usually don't yield really low individual scores. It's just a lot of pressure at that tournament. We could have finished better. We actually were just getting walloped. And so in the end, even though we might have been able to finish a little bit better, to finish only 7 behind, really, the guys were, we were in a good place.
Going into day 2, you were 7 shots back at Lincoln. Coach, what was your message to your team? And at what point during that second day did you kind of see the comeback coming and think, boy, we really have a shot here?
The real message was just same old. We don't have to do anything different. We just have to play better. We have to play to our potential and continue to get numbers out of our head, because golf tournament you got 6 guys and they're going to take 4 low scores, and you don't really know. It's not like there's a scoreboard in basketball where you're constantly kind of know where you're at. The boys are just playing. So I said, hey, just go out and play. If it gets down to crunch time and it's close and we need to alter a strategy, I'll let you know. Just enjoy yourself, play O'Gorman golf. Right in the middle of the round, we rallied, made a bunch of birdies and squared the match up with 6 holes to go. And I just told them all as I passed that 13th tee box where I was stationed, hey, whoever plays best is going to win. And I think we've got the best team, so let's enjoy it. The last couple holes were pretty amazing to get us into that tie.
And you're just leading right into my next question, Coach. I was just looking at your Facebook page, and you mentioned some key shots in that comeback with Radley's birdie on 17, Williams' birdie from the fringe, and then Radley obviously made the 10-foot birdie for the win in the playoff. If you want to talk about any of those shots or just anything that stood out to you in those last couple rounds and playoffs for your team's comeback victory.
Sure. Well, the first thing that happened, Liam Sarmiento, a sophomore who did not have a good first day and came out. The highest scores for the team go off first. So here's our lead guy, and he goes out and posts one of the best rounds in O'Gorman boys golf history. He shoots a 2-under par 70. That just set the stage for our comeback. We got a great score in the books right out of the chute. But then right at crunch time, we were even with about 6 to go, and then it was we gave a few away. And we're standing on the 17th tee with the last 2 groups. Radley, Mooney is second to last, and Jacobs in the last group. And, of course, we're playing with 2 guys from Lincoln. I will not tell the guys how we're doing specifically at all during the tournament because it doesn't really matter. At that point in time, we were 3 shots down. And I told Radley, hey, Radley, we're 3 down. And he said, I can do it. I'm going to hit this great shot on this par 3 and put the pressure on Charlie. And he did just what he said. It was just like Babe Ruth calling the home run. He stuck it in there, a beautiful shot about 15 feet. The Lincoln player struggled, and Radley drains the putt for a 2. The Lincoln player makes a 5, and that 3-shot deficit went away on one hole. It was unbelievable. And then we played the last 2 holes very strong. Both teams with chances to win with a putt on the 18th. Both made good putts and missed, and we went on to the playoff.
And finally, Coach, besides winning the state title with it, is your team's first state title since 2017. Were there any other really memorable moments this season? And what are you going to remember most about coaching this year's O'Gorman boys golfers?
Well, the thing I'm going to remember the most is, just how, I'm just kind of writing up an email right now to kind of summarize it all. But, whether we'd won or lost, golf is a fickle game. There's a lot of shots over a couple of days against another very good team, a very good deserving team in Lincoln. Has got a great program. They're friends. They played against each other all summer. The thing that struck me was how disciplined they were over their 36 holes. You would have never looked over and saw one of our players and thought, there's a guy who's, sad or upset with himself, or they just were so disciplined, and they bought into my, keys to the course, and just couldn't have been prouder of them as a team. They just never had one that I can remember that was that stoic and imperturbable is a word that we use a lot. Just couldn't be flustered at all. And in the end, that depth and that discipline, all of those things were what helped us get to the point where we could win it in the end.
Thanks so much, Coach, for your time, and congratulations again to you and your boys on another state title for O'Gorman boys golf.
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate it.
This blew up on Twitter the other day when they won it. Excuse me. So Will Sanford rolled that 40-foot footer in the fringe, and then Jack followed him up with a 20-foot birdie in his own. Huge roars from the crowd. And then Radley Mooney, OG, made a 10-foot birdie for the win on hole number 2, the place he erupted. But here's a little stat for you. Both teams, Lincoln and O'Gorman, throughout this season were separated by 18 shots for the whole season. of 3,600 or so shots between the two teams. It's phenomenal golf. So here we go for the team. Bradley Mooney, he's a junior. This is his third appearance. Jacob Stewart, senior. Liam Sarmento, he's a sophomore. The second appearance. Mac Drake, he's a sophomore. William Sanford, he's a senior. And Will Hurd, a junior. I tell you what, hats off to those 6 gentlemen right there, and congratulations on winning the state boys golf tournament. Your halftime nights all over Rapid City Stevens. And this has been O'Gorman, Inside O'Gorman, brought to you by Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools, or 6 elementary schools, junior high and high schools, exemplify gospel values, strong student achievement, and community service. Our schools strive to have excellence when it counts in faith, academics, and our community. And the opportunities offered to our students. Visit OG Nights to schedule a tour right now. So come up after the break. We're going to talk about the other games going on across South Dakota tonight. You're listening to O'Gorman Football on Real Presence Radio.
Hi, I'm Teresa Curley, Listener Relationship Coordinator for Eastern South Dakota, and I would like to personally invite you to the 4th Annual Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls Banquet on Tuesday, November 2nd at the Best Western Plus Ramkota Hotel. Social hour starts at 5:30 p.m., followed by a meal at 6:30, and Dr. Stacy Trasankos will be the keynote speaker. To register for the banquet, go to realpresenceradio.com/banquet or call or text me at 803-427-3961.
Upon graduation from O'Gorman High School, you will receive far more than a diploma. You get the values of a Catholic education, the support and reach of thousands of alum from across the country, the knowledge that you can become who you were meant to be, and our community will be right there by your side. You belong in blue. O'Gorman High School.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School as we take a look into some scores from around the state, starting off with the AAA action. Just starting the third quarter over at Howard Woods, Sioux Falls, Washington clinging to a 4-point lead over the Roosevelt Rough Riders, 17-13. That one shaping up to be a good finish over there. O'Gorman all over Rapid City, as we've seen right here. Harrisburg all over the other Rapid City, 48-6 right now in the third quarter. Brandon Valley up 14-0 over Mitchell. And then again tomorrow evening, Sioux Falls Jefferson and Sioux Falls Lincoln square off at Howard Wood. Now over for AA with Mr. Dan Johnson.
Okay, out in Watertown and Pierre right now, it's 14 all, tied with 4 minutes to go in the first. Brandon Valley over Mitchell 14-0. 14-0. Brookings on top of Huron. Spearfish Douglas 7-0 the start of the second period. T, number 1 in AA, is at home against Aberdeen Central 8-0. 8 minutes to go in the first. And Yankton on top of Sturgis Brown 7-0. That game down in Yankton. So tonight's halftime show, the Gorman Knights, is sponsored by the BB Agency, supporting Knights of Columbus Insurance for South Dakota, Southwest Minnesota, and Northeastern Iowa. For life insurance, long-term care insurance, retirement products, call the BB Agency at 605-882-8689. Connect with a field agent near you. Knights of Columbus Insurance, strong, dependable, faith-based insurance, protecting your family's financial future.
Some breaking news from the, I don't know if you guys mentioned this when I was up there, but the South Dakota Girls AA State Tennis Tournament was completed this afternoon / this evening, and we've got ourselves a team state champion. And for all you Rapid City Stevens fans listening, congratulations as your girls take home the team state AA Girls Tennis Tournament. Anna Mueller, Abby Sherrill, Emma Thurnis, and Kaya Parkin all won singles titles for the Stevens Raiders. So the Raiders won 469.5 total points, and coming in second was Harrisburg at 445, followed by Lincoln and O'Gorman to round out the top 4. So Stevens girls tennis AA state champions, team champions, and 4 singles individual champions as well. So congratulations to the Rapid City Stevens girls on their state championship victory. Because now we get ready for some more football action here at O'Gorman High School.
Isaac, what was the total yardage in the first half for O'Gorman?
431 yards
we
of
should
offense.
Had a poll.
The reason I ask is I think the O'Gorman, the only game this season we've been over 400 yards is like 410 was the Harrisburg game.
Okay.
So in the first half, we have more total yards than any other game, whole game this year. I just wanted to mention that.
That might be a record, but
yeah.
maybe go back to Coleman years or whatever, Dusty and all them.
when they played Sturgis and were up
Oh, yeah.
50-0 at halftime in a homecoming game. I mean, you never know with that. Or the Lincoln game, the 76-14 playoff game. You never know if that had some major yards in it too. Also want to give a shout out to just ran into a couple of people down low as I was walking around and socializing as I tend to do. Yeah, working the crowd. And Zach Carlson apparently has received an offer from Northwestern football.
The Red Raiders.
The Red Raiders. So congratulations to Zach.
Now, isn't that where is Liam down there, or is he?
No, Liam's
Dort?
at Dort.
He's at Dort with Matt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. The big fella's down in front.
Well, then you got a couple of guys down at Wayne State.
Yep. And oh man,
Bird,
Alex, and
Kowalczyk and Bird.
Kowalczyk
And
and
Alex
Bird.
is starting for the for the Cougars down there at Wayne State.
And Wayne State just picked up a big upset victory over somebody.
Duluth last week.
Yeah, Duluth
last week. Phenomenal.
So the most yards combined in a game was 639 yards against Sioux City West back in 1988.
I think we're going to break it tonight.
We might see that most shutouts in a season. That's a good one. Let's see here.
So
most points in a... Oh, well, let's see here.
So it's touchback, so the Raiders will take over on the 20-yard line.
So the Raiders have it offensively here. It'll be Jed Jensen out of the shotgun formation.
Can they continue that pressure on him?
Jensen takes the snap. He'll hand off the middle to Uriah Glim, where he's just met in the backfield by a herd of Knights.
Can the Knights keep that intensity going the second half?
Oh, that is the question here.
That's what we're thinking here at halftime when I was watching the band and stuff. I'm going, okay, can they keep that intensity? Because they played phenomenal football this first half.
Absolutely.
And can they keep that going? That's where I hope they can.
So Jensen will come out of the gun. 2nd down and 13. Drop back to pass. He's got Chokamoinen on a stop route where he's going to be tackled by a combination of Struck and Cheddar.
Short
of the first down. Give him about 9 yards on the completion. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Long 3, almost 4. So Struck back into the game after he had come out, had that hand, the club, if you will, re-wrapped and taped.
He's got like a cast on that puppy.
Yeah, he's got a full cast on the hand. Just exposing 2 fingers is all, as Jensen drops back and delivers at the sticks, and it's going to be caught for a 1st down. Nice shifty move out there by Caden Nelson on the reception. Yeah, just a 2-finger full cast into the hand. His middle finger and index finger, the only ones that he can move.
So the injury was pulled it back and broke that little
metacarpal. Yep.
You guys are probably shocked I even know that name. Remember that from biology.
Oh, we've got an
back in 1962 in Dan.
Hey, 72.
We've got an injured Knight on the field. So we'll take a quick timeout for an injury and stay tuned for more on Real Presence Radio Network after the break.
Your family is depending on you to provide financial security for them. The Knights of Columbus can help you with insurance solutions such as disability income, long-term care, both term and whole life, annuities, retirement, and estate planning services. Join the Knights of Columbus today at kfc.org/join us for access to all these insurance services. Call the BB Agency at 605-882-8689. That's 605-882-8689.
That was Carter Peterson down, and he's up and off, and so we're going to resume action here. So looks like he just needs to take a little bit of a breather. First down for the Raiders on the 35.
Want to give a shout out to John and Bob Binstock listening in.
Oh!
Good old John and Bob.
Oh, could he play ball?
Oh, yeah. John
Binstock was a hoot to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, jeez. Cowboy Bob.
Here we go. 2nd down and 10. Ball is at the 41-yard line. You know, it's a great day in Sioux Falls when the construction on 33rd in Minnesota is finally over.
Did they open it?
They opened it full go. 3 lanes. Man, oh man, is that nice driving to O'Gorman.
Well, we thought we were in heaven when they opened up the 26th Street Bridge.
Well, I thought we were in heaven when they finished the Sioux City construction after 35 years or whatever it was. Still not quite finished.
So lost there. Now it's 3rd and long now for the Raiders on their own 33. Clock's running, 9:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 41-7 if you're just joining us here in the 2nd half. Game was early night, 6 o'clock start. Same as next week, will be 6 o'clock start against the Tigers of Huron come to town.
Classic trap game was what Keeter used to say whenever you'd play a good Spearfish or a good Huron team.
Yes.
Classic trap game.
Yep. Oh, offside.
A lot of movement up front. There's 3 flags on the field.
Surprised the back judge didn't throw one.
Careful if you're in the area over there. Got some falling flags.
You get hurt by the weight.
I'll start. Stevens.
They'll back him up 3rd and long now.
What was once 3rd and long is now 3rd and longer.
Now if we just get a sack here and force a fumble here.
Or a pick 6 to the crib.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Stevens will come out, 2 receivers to each side. Jensen drops back to pass. He's got a little bit of room to throw. Oh! It's nearly intercepted off of the club of Emmanuel.
Now, if he'd had a good hand, he'd have got that.
If he had 2 working hands.
He'd have had that, Isaac. You know that. I don't know how you catch a ball with the with the cast on like that.
That would have been a big confidence booster if he pulled that thing down. He would have been in popping his ear. Hey, let me play some offense.
That'd be play of the day there when you catch a ball like that with a cast.
Long snap and punt ball, end over end, will bounce at the 40. Oh, where it was fielded.
I thought he called fair
fielded
catch.
by Jones, and then was just wrapped up by like 4 defenders.
So Gorman will take over on the 34-yard line.
Nights, it's cold in here. There must be some nights in the atmosphere. Throw over the middle, complete to David Alpers, who's wrapped up shy of the first down yardage. But a nice gain of 7 yards on first down.
I know one thing we haven't talked about is the Blue Ribbon School coming up.
Yep.
So this is a 4th time, and there's only 10 schools in the United States that have gotten this 4 times. And Bishop O'Gorman is one of the 10. And I think they're having a celebration here Wednesday.
Phenomenal.
Wednesday morning, it'll be a
snap give. Jones cuts up the field off of a couple of tackles. What a nice job by Maverick Jones on the ground again. And the sophomore doing it all for the Knights right now. Over 130 yards on the ground so far.
But look at the blockers out there in front of him, though. Hats off to those. The offensive line. Those guys getting out there.
When you see linemen 14 to 15 yards down the field on a run play, you always know that the
Benson,
success is coming
Peterson, Carlson, Scott, all of them.
Snap, Dannenbring dropping back to pass. He's got Hagee wide open on a busted coverage, and he's going to just trot into the end zone.
Yeah, baby.
Touchdown, O'Gorman. Bennett Dannenbring to Peyton Hagee. Make that the 3rd time. Not once, not twice, but 3. And O'Gorman back on the scoreboard. It's 47-7, pending the Hagee extra point.
43-yarder?
I believe so.
Phenomenal. He was wide open.
Just a busted coverage as Hagee just slipped behind the defense, and Dannenbring had all day to drop one in there.
But Dannenbring's seeing that now.
Extra point is good.
48-7. With 7:53 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
So we'll take a break here. 7:53 left in the 3rd quarter. Knights lead 48-7 here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Crossroads Book and Music is a local source for Catholic gifts and supplies. From rosaries and medals to books and Bibles, Crossroads is here with materials to help individuals in their walk with Christ. Crossroads also has gifts for weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, and special occasions. Crossroads is located at 41st and Grange, next to Camille's, and are online at crossroadsbook.com. Crossroads, books, gifts, music.
J&J Caseworks and Closets and More is a proud sponsor of the O'Gorman Knights. Following the same rich, winning tradition, family, and Christian values, J&J Caseworks strives to create a work environment to call home. Family-owned and operated, J&J Caseworks has several full-time positions available. Our team members pursue career goals, learn new skills, and get the recognition they deserve. To set up an appointment, J&J Caseworks can be reached at 605-332-0805 or email jobs@jmjcaseworks.com. Go Knights!
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School as this kickoff is sent back deep into the end zone by Hagee for a touchback. And that last scoring drive for the O'Gorman Knights has been brought to you by Closets and More, a locally owned company providing custom designed closets and storage solutions. Closets and More can be reached at 605-334-5135 or online at closetsandmoresd.com.
You got it
Read
right.
it perfect. I was just about to
After
say.
7 times tonight,
I
you got
made
it right.
it. Yeah, as we were just saying, I think that Stevens would be. They're a little banged up tonight, out a couple of players, but they'd be a tough team to match up with in a playoff game.
Trying to look for Stevens to throw a deep ball here in this series because they need to score and get back into some.
Jensen, quick screen pass over to the right side, caught by Caden Nelson. Nice tackle on the boundary by, I believe that was Jack White.
Number 5, Nelson in the reception.
So a 10-yard reception on first down.
Caden Nelson's a 6'4", 200-pound wide receiver for Stevens.
Dropping back to pass. Jensen's got all day, and now he's going to run into some trouble. Rolling out, flush to the right side. Lofts one up over the left side of the field, and it's picked off.
He came across the field.
Jack White with his first interception of the season. And it's 48-7, and the Knights get the ball back on offense again.
He just threw that ball up there. I mean, there was no velocity on it at all. He was just trying to get away, and he just laid it up there, and it was a defender on him, and White came across the field and saw that heads up by White from the interception. So the Knights take over on their own 43-yard line here with 7:14 to go in the third quarter. Knights on top, 48-7.
Score update from around the state. Roosevelt making some noise, just punched in a touchdown and take a 20-17 lead over at Howard Wood early in the fourth quarter, but still a very close game, looking to be a tight finish over there as Roosevelt has claimed their first lead of the ball game over the Washington Warriors. What used to be a classic matchup every year, Washington and Roosevelt, seemed like it's slowly been turning into not as big of a rivalry as I remember in years past. Roosevelt a little bit down this year, coming around, kind of like O'Gorman, a little bit down at the beginning and then coming back around. And Washington strong again for the first time in about 3 years, as Dannenbring's going to keep along the left side and pick up quite a few yards on the ground for another first down.
Nice fake, and everybody bid on that. Everybody bid on that for the defense. Beautiful fake by Dannenbring there to pick up the first down. Run, quarterback keeper.
So O'Gorman will come out with 1st and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. They lead 48-7 over Stevens.
But tomorrow night, Lincoln Jefferson, both 4-2.
Yep, that's going to be a big game.
Who's going to win that one?
That's a big game, especially for playoff implications and seeding. That's some PowerPoints on the table right there. Dannenbring will be flushed out to the right. He's got Nelson open, floats it to him, and it's going to be caught inside the 5-yard line, down to the 4. O'Gorman has just been able to get behind the defense quite a few times tonight.
See, Nelson had to come back to it.
Yep.
A couple yards. Dannenbring was pressured, but he got the ball off, and he just, nice pass.
A nice floater from Dannenbring. Rolling out to his right, off balance feet.
Well, that was
delivered a nice little float over the top of the defense.
30 yards.
Andrew Nelson.
PA announcer asking us who caught that.
Snap, Dannenbring dropping back to pass, penalty flag on the field, and then the Knights will back it up 5.
The previous pass reception for the Knights was by number 15, Andrew Nelson. Dead ball.
Now, Nelson was out for 2 games. He was back last week.
Yep.
First down.
Nelson and
there's
Struck
an athlete. There's an
Nelson
athlete.
and Struck went out right around the same time. Both came back at the same time.
There was 9 minutes left in the first half. Brandon Valley 21, Mitchell 0.
So Dannenbring will come out of the shotgun now. First and goal from the 9-yard line. Dannenbring over the middle into traffic, and it's caught. Touchdown. I believe that was Hagee again.
Yeah, I believe so. Number 9.
Peyton Hagee, his 4th.
He's having
touchdown
one heck
of the ball game.
Wow. Wow, phenomenal. 54-7, 4:27 to go in the third here. Here comes the extra point. And it's good. It makes it 55-7. No running clock yet.
55-7, Knights lead. 4:27 left here in the third quarter. We'll take a break on Real Presence Radio Network.
Upon graduation from O'Gorman High School, you will receive far more than a diploma. You get the values of a Catholic education, the support and reach of thousands of alum from across the country, the knowledge that you can become who you were meant to be, and our community will be right there by your side. You belong in blue. O'Gorman High School.
Are you ready for some football? Real Presence Radio has you covered. We will be broadcasting and video streaming Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights football games both home and away this fall, starting on Saturday, August 28th. Have your business's radio spot heard across the radio, YouTube video stream, mobile app, and RPR website during all our O'Gorman football broadcasts. If your business would like to sponsor our O'Gorman football broadcast, contact me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School. Another scoreboard update from around the state over at Howard Wood. You're gonna like this. Washington turns the ball over on 4th down at the 24-yard line, and the next play, Roosevelt's 76-yard touchdown pass to Matt Gehring, and it's 26-17. Roosevelt on top of the Warriors.
Ooh, go Rosie.
So one play, one touchdown, 76 yards, and just like that, Roosevelt, who was trailing 17-13, is now up 26-17.
So it's a touchback, so Stevens will take over on their own 20.
And I think this has been a really good game, as we were just kind of talking about back and forth here. O'Gorman has taken advantage of having a week like last week where they were able to get a lot of guys in with a lot of experience, have an efficient day on the offensive end, build their confidence, and then really put together a good half and a half of football, and it's carried over in today. We've seen Dannenbring a lot more calm and collected in the pocket, a good pocket from the offensive line, who's been playing together for a couple of weeks now, and you're seeing the receivers start to get more confident. Hagee has been able to find some open seams. There's a lot going on for O'Gorman right now on the offensive end. The defense has been there all season. The offense is finally starting to come together, and now we've got a 55-7 ball game right now, halfway through the third.
They're starting to hit that peak that they wanted to hit.
Yeah.
And you got two regular season games left. So, that hats off to the coaching staff. I mean, I tell you what, this is what they want. They're coming up. We're coming into the end of the season. We're going to be playing our best football now, coming in the last 5-6 games of the year.
Uriah Glynn met in the backfield. Not in the backfield, after a first down the left side, a gain of about 3 to 4 yards.
So technically we've got 5 games left to go to the Dome.
Technically speaking.
Yeah, technically speaking. Potentially 5 games left.
First down for the Raiders.
Next week is here, and then we play it a Thursday night.
At Jefferson.
At Howard Wood, the 21st.
That'll be a fun ball game.
And that's a 5 o'clock start, if I remember right, on that Thursday, the 21st. Must be a doubleheader that night.
Out of the gun, it's Jensen dropping back to pass. He'll fire one down the field. Well shot over the intended receiver into double coverage. Struck and White. Struck and believe that was, Henry Theobald. We're in coverage, both waiting there.
So that I'm correct. We played Jefferson at 5, and then
Okay.
Lincoln Washington played 8
Okay.
at Howard Woods. So there's a doubleheader that night out there.
It'll be a good ball game. Both will be good ball games.
Yes.
And those will both determine the final playoff seeding, which will be good.
Get him. Get him.
And they complete the pass, but not before Dominic Skolton wraps up Uriah Glynn in the backfield. Jensen was dropping back for the screen pass and had to wait.
They lost 6. Could have lost 12 there, but he got the ball up. They still lost 6 yards. 3rd and long. Should talk about what's coming up this week. You got the band tomorrow is going down to Orange City for the marching band competition there. And tomorrow at 1 o'clock, the boys soccer round 2 is over at Sioux Falls Jefferson out on at Jefferson. They're playing at Jefferson over there. Volleyball down at Sioux Falls Christian, and then the fall play is again tomorrow night.
Jensen dropping back to pass. He's got a receiver open on the sideline and a big hit.
And there's a
from
flag.
Logan Height. Now they're going to throw a flag.
Comes all the way across. We got holding on Stevens. I believe it's on 74 because he's putting his head down. Tanner Otten.
White, number 1, decline, 4th down.
So they'll be punting here at 3rd and long. Ball on the 29-yard line.
Stevens will drop back to punt.
Back in punt formation. Konechny on the return for the Knights.
About a 5-6 yard return for Konechny there. Knights will take over on their own 41 and a half. And that should about do the end of the 3rd quarter. Knights on top, 55-7 over the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. You're listening to Gorman Football on Real Presence Radio.
Crossroads Book and Music is a local source for Catholic gifts and supplies. From rosaries and medals to books and Bibles, Crossroads is here with materials to help individuals in their walk with Christ. Crossroads also has gifts for weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, and special occasions. Crossroads is located at 41st and Grange, next to Camille's, and are online at crossroadsbook.com. Crossroads, books, gifts, music.
J&J Caseworks and Closets and More is a proud sponsor of the O'Gorman Knights. Following the same rich, winning tradition, family, and Christian values, J&J Caseworks strives to create a work environment to call home. Family owned and operated, J&J Caseworks has several full-time positions available. Our team members pursue career goals, learn new skills, and get the recognition they deserve. To set up an appointment, J&J Caseworks can be reached at 605-332-0805 or email jobs@jmjcaseworks.com. Go Knights!
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School as Shout plays over the speaker.
Oh, great movie. Way before your guys' day, though.
So here we are, 1st down and 10. Ball is at the 42-yard line for O'Gorman. Snap and give to number 19, Dylan Majors, and Hayden Gross in at quarterback for the Knights. So now they've cleared off some of the bench.
And we talked about that at the last break, that Dannenberg will be his last tour of duty tonight.
Dannenberg will finish the ball game 17 of 21 for 356 passing yards and 5 touchdowns, excuse me.
Hayden Gross, 6'2", sophomore, 170-pound quarterback.
Gross over the middle. That pass is caught.
1st down.
A nice seam route over the middle. That might have been either Dawson Rizvi or Ryan. Yep, there he goes. Bornhoft on the reception. So Gross will take it, snap, give it off to Majors, who's rocked backwards for a loss of 1.
A lot of sophomores out there tonight.
Starting to unload the bench.
You know, we talked about earlier in the pregame there about how I call them super sophomores coming in. It's like the future is very bright for Gorman football. Not saying we don't have the juniors, but we got some great juniors out there as well for next year and the year after. So it's going to be fun, folks.
Hagee up top, caught by Bornhoft again. He'll be just shy of the first down yardage.
Bornhoft 6'3".
Yeah, Bornhoft, a big target.
Huge target out there. 195 pound.
So Gorman leads 55-7 here with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
We can score here, we'll get our running clock.
It'll be Hagee out of the gun, 3 receivers to the right, a running back offset to his right. He'll snap, drop a quick screen over to the running back, Dylan Majors. A flag comes out in the backfield, looks like it's going to be a holding. That'll back the Knights up 10 yards.
Looked like Gross had to holler at him.
Yeah.
To get him to, because he's probably going to throw a little bit early on him.
Tackled by number 41.
The clock is running now, actually, so it must be 40 in the second half.
Roughing the passer, number 3.
Oh, did not see that one. Sorry, folks.
So a roughing the passer penalty charged to the Raiders. So march the Knights forward 15 yards down to the 18-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 18 for the Knights.
Gorman trying to put the ball in the end zone one more time here. So they've got a big lead, what could be their biggest lead of the season if they put it in. Oh, that won't be enough, as Hagee will give to Majors up the middle for a gain of nothing. Last week they had that 61-3 victory. A touchdown and an extra point would break their season total, their season high on the season at 62, but surrendered 4 more points than they did last week.
Thompson and Jakowicz on the carry. Excuse me, on the tackle.
8:17 left. Clock is running. Another score update. Harrisburg final over Rapid City Central 62-12. And Roosevelt still clinging to that 26-17 lead over the Warriors with now under 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter over at Howard Wood. So Roosevelt won last week over Jefferson and now about to upset Washington if they can hang on to the lead here.
Roosevelt 26, Washington 17. 8 minutes left in the game. Final in Harrisburg.
So we'll just keep it here during this timeout on the field. 55-17. Look at some of the stats from this evening's ball game. O'Gorman has 23 first downs. They've got 203 rushing yards and 559 yards of total offense.
So we're about 80 yards shy, Isaac, of the school record, which was 639. So if you do the math, that's 80 yards exactly, I believe.
Well, I think that he sent me that text before we got the ball in this position.
Oh, okay.
So we might be a little bit closer.
That year was 1988. I was 1 year old in 1988. Isaac was nowhere close to being born yet.
It's not a thought.
God, you guys are pups.
Dan lived through the Great Depression.
Grew up with a outhouse and a party line.
That pass incomplete from Hagee, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 11.
Now this will be the 11th straight win against Stevens? And Pop has not lost to Rapid City.
Oh, I don't believe they would have and will lose to a Rapid City team. So 7:30 left, 3rd down and 11. Ball is placed at the 19-yard line for Mr. Hayden Gross takes the snap, drops back to pass. He's going to get flushed out to his right, points his receiver down, back into the end zone.
Oh, baby, yeah, baby.
Hayden Gross points off the defender.
With
and
the
then
pressure on it.
Flicks the ball downfield near the sideline. It was caught for a touchdown. And I can't see with my old eyes here, Dan. Number 11 on the reception, so that's Pierce Gamarco for the touchdown.
Another sophomore.
That was a pretty connection between Gross and Gamarco.
Looked like a young Tom Brady out there.
Yeah, directing traffic, rolling out to his right. Your QB could never. 62-7, Tom Brady. What a great athlete. 62-7, Knights lead. 7:11 left here in the fourth quarter. Get ready for another commercial break here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Upon graduation from O'Gorman High School, you will receive far more than a diploma. You get the values of a Catholic education, the support and reach of thousands of alum from across the country, the knowledge that you can become who you were meant to be, and our community will be right there by your side. You belong in blue. O'Gorman High School.
Are you ready for some football? Real Presence Radio has you covered. We will be broadcasting and video streaming Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights football games both home and away this fall, starting on Saturday, August 28th. Have your business's radio spot heard across the radio, YouTube video stream, mobile app, and RPR website during all our O'Gorman football broadcasts. If your business would like to sponsor our O'Gorman football broadcast, contact me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
Welcome back to Real Presence Radio Network here at O'Gorman High School as the Knights are all over the Stevens Raiders 62-7.
That scoring drive for the Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights has been brought to you by Closets and More, a locally owned company providing custom designed closets and storage solutions. Closets and More can be reached at 605-334-5135 online at closetsandmoresd.com.
That's how you do it, Dan.
Got it right the first time, buddy.
I think I got it right the first time, and then I missed like three in a row.
My trifocals reading across you over there.
Can you see six inches in front of you?
Now, I thought this game would be like a 24-17 game. I really thought coming in that Stevens was going to cause us some trouble. And
it's been the complete opposite of that, so don't take Dan Johnson to Vegas.
I was there last week.
Snap to Jensen. Quick handoff on the jet play outside. Then finally wrapped up about a 5-yard gain there for Easton Oakley, who's been awfully quiet this evening.
Clock continues to run. Coming up on 6 minutes to go in the ball game. A lot of subs going in and out here for the Knights. Isaac Wilson just came off, a 6'1", 175 junior.
Second down and 5. Jensen comes out of the gun. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Empty set here. Jensen drops back to pass, throws a floater down the sideline, caught by Trocamoinen, out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
Jensen.
Give him the 48, actually, across the 50 now. And here comes a platoon swap for the Knights defense.
Landon Roan, senior 5'11's in.
Yep, 6 new guys just jogged into the ball game for the Knights.
Get in there, guys.
Snap to Jensen. Jensen all day to throw. Rolls out to the right, drops a pass down the sideline, incomplete off the hands of Oakley and out of bounds.
And here comes more guys back in.
Number 45.
59, Matthew Vewig's in. The senior, 6'2", 215 now is in his nose.
Sam Sorrell and William Sorrell both check into the ball game. Creighton Rosh as well.
Come on, Matthew, get in there. I know him pretty well, his parents.
Jensen sends her a tight end across the formation in motion, running it around the outside. And Glenn bounces off of a couple of defenders.
Glenn on the carry for Stevens.
And now more new Knights into the ball game.
Wilson.
Landon Roan, one of the Knights I saw out there.
Watch a long ball here.
Jack Hove in on that corner.
There it is.
And Jensen will drop back, fire one down the seam. Caught at the inch-yard line. Over the outstretched arms of Peyton Moschbach.
He could have jumped up another inch. He'd have had that.
A beautiful grab there. As Stevens will have first and goal at the half-yard line as Oagley was the one to haul in the reception. So first down and goal. They'll come out of a tight set with two receivers to each side. Snap, give, Glenn along the outside and into the end zone. And a touchdown for Stevens. Uriah Glenn finds his way into the end zone, and it's 62-13 pending the extra point here. And another score update over at Howard Wood. Roosevelt 33, Washington 20. And Brandon on top of Mitchell, 28-0. And then in AA, we've got Pierre and Watertown in a 3-point ball game in Pierre. And then Brookings all over Huron, Spearfish over Douglas, T over Aberdeen Central in a close one, and Yankton Walton all over Sturgis. So the point after is good, and it's 62-14 as we'll take a break here on Real Presence Radio Network. Knights on top with 3 minutes to go.
Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness is a third-generation family-owned chiropractic practice whom have been proudly serving the people of Sioux Falls and the Sioux Empire region since 1947. Dr. Eric Ferendorf, a 1999 O'Gorman alum, practices alongside his wife, Dr. Larissa Ferendorf. Dr. Larissa specializes in applied kinesiology and clinical nutrition. Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness is located on the northwest corner of 49th Street and Southeastern Avenue, 605-334-8000, or online at ferendorfchiropractic.com.
At McGuire Iron, we protect and store quality water for people and communities across the country. We are family owned and operated and have been building and maintaining America's water tower infrastructure for over 100 years. We pride ourselves on using faith principles in our business practices every day. This deep faith in the church is why we support the Bishop O'Gorman Catholic School System. From all of us at McGuire Iron and the Jones family, we wish all O'Gorman students and student athletes good luck this year.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School.
Stevens gets ready to kick off here with 3:19 to go. The Knights, if you're just joining us, Knights all over the Raiders of Rapid City Stevens, 62-14 with 3:19 left in the ball game. Squib kick. Run, baby, go!
Fielded by the up back, Creighton Rosh.
Number 85, Will Sorrell.
William
Will
Sorrell,
Sorrell
85. You have a hard time reading those numbers too, huh?
Well, I don't have my glasses on, so it's not good.
So your grandpa, the author, is in the house, I see.
Yes, he is.
Still get the 2 books, right?
Yep. Down on the...
Haven't got my autographed copy yet.
Down on the 50-yard line. Make sure that I get something done there. Give up the middle. Majors can't pick up anything.
He doesn't have to say to Dan. He just autograph it. I
to
love
Dan Johnson.
Number 65, Carson Fielder. Number 41, Luca.
So some more score updates as Nelson Wright just...
Stevens Raiders girls tennis team, as they are the 2021 state girls tennis champions.
That run up the middle by Majors for 4 yards.
Flag on the play.
Holding on the offensive line. First call holding for the Knights. Very, very few penalties tonight on the Knights. Be interesting what Coach Popinka has to say, the highlights for him tonight.
Score update.
Nelson Wright takes a 80-yard touchdown swing pass down the field, and it's 33-20. Roosevelt on top. That was the score. And now Washington threatening to score. Washington with the football inside the red zone at the 19-yard line with first down and 2:10 left to play, trailing by 13.
Skinner.
Clock continues to run. We got a minute left in the ball game. It'll be 3rd and long for the Knights here.
Once again, support Knights for a Cure.
And I think they're going to try to run this clock down.
$40 minimum donation. It's not on sale.
Take that snap on the very last second and then set the ball, and hopefully we get out of here.
So here comes the snap to Gross. He'll throw just a swing pass on the outside, and it's incomplete. Clock will still run.
They set the ball, give it to 30. That should be it.
I believe that pass was intended for Pierce Camarco. So what a fantastic ball game for the O'Gorman Knights as they'll come out victorious 62-14 over the Rapid City Stevens Raiders here at O'Gorman High School in a big victory to move the Knights to 3-4 on the season, and the Raiders will drop to 2-5 as both of those teams congratulate each other at the 30-yard line, and now we'll shake hands at the 50. So stay tuned for the Knights Locker Room show here as we'll have an interview from Coach Jason Popinga, as well as some final thoughts, wrap-up, scoreboard update, and looking into next week for a matchup with the Huron Tigers. That is next on the Knights Locker Room show here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Sioux Equipment Company can fix, sell, and repair gas pumps, tanks, and air compressors. They offer sales and services for lifts, signs, decals, and tank truck equipment in Sioux Falls and the surrounding areas. Sioux Equipment Company is located at 1310 East 39th Street in Sioux Falls, just off of East Benson Road. They can be reached by calling 605-334-1653. Again, that number is 605-334-1653.
Hi, this is Mark Holcraft.
And this is Dr. Joseph Holcraft. You know, Mark, Jesus asks 307 questions in sacred scripture. He is asked 183, of which he only answers 3. What's the business with all of this questioning going on in the Bible?
Well, Joe, there's a lot there, and we'll be ready to take that on. Tune in to hear about these questions and more on Awaken, every second and fourth Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Early in his time as the new bishop of the Diocese of Sioux Falls, Bishop Donald DeGrood sensed in prayer the vision that the Lord has for the diocese in our time: lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. That is, for each and every Catholic in eastern South Dakota to receive God's love, to be in personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and to share that love with others. Find out more at sfcatholic.org/vision and discover the exciting and beautiful part you have to play in God's plan.
From the Real Presence Radio Network, welcome to the O'Gorman Knights Locker Room Show. Now, back to the field.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School as the Knights just picked up a massive victory over the Rapid City Stevens Raiders here, 62-14. And one more quick scoreboard update: the Roosevelt Rough Riders 96-yard house call on the pick six gives the Riders a 40-20 lead with just under 2 minutes to go.
Ouch.
So Washington threatening to score. They throw a pick six right on the goal line, and it is now 40-20. Riders on top.
That will change the standings coming out on Tuesday. We'll be moving up, and Washington will be dropping down.
Yeah. That's
really going to be helpful. Coach Popinka is doing an interview on the field, so I'm sure he'll be up shortly. So
we'll just kind of banter back and forth about the game this evening as O'Gorman came out and threw yardage together like it was going out of style. They converted on attempt after attempt after attempt on the offensive end in the first half. They had 41 points at halftime.
Can I ask you, Brett, your thoughts?
Oh, well, I mean, I think you saw the best game from Bennett Dannenbrink as a Knight. I mean, he was just outstanding with his decisions. And when he had to make those pinpoint passes, Isaac, he hit those receivers in stride. Some of the ones I'm like, oh, my gosh, why is he throwing it?
Yep.
And then he hits them right in stride. Offensively, it was just a masterpiece, really, running, passing. And then defense did a really good job not give up the one big play, but other than that, we're really solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the pressure was really good for the Knights getting pressure on their quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
To me, the offensive line was key tonight.
So now we're joined by head coach Jason Poppinga of the O'Gorman Knights. And, Coach, tonight was an impressive victory over what's a pretty tough team in Rapid City Stevens, who has played a lot of close games and has beaten a Roosevelt team in Rapid City and has played a close game with Brandon and whatnot. So a good physical team in Rapid City. And you guys put up 62 points in a big-time offensive effort. And it just seemed like everything was clicking the way you guys would have wanted it to in the first half. There was receivers getting open. Your line was pushing the defensive line back a couple of yards, and we were able to run the ball effectively. Just what did you see in that first half, especially?
Yeah, I mean, the key, like what you said there, I mean, we were able to come out and run the football right away. And, the game plan was, they're a little bit light in the box just in how they align in their kind of 3-2 defense, and we needed to exploit that and get those outside, linebackers out. And then we started getting some of those big plays. Satter has a couple nice plays out in the flats. Heggie had a big night getting himself, we talked early in the year that we weren't winning any man-to-man battles, and now, Heggie's won a lot of man-to-man battles for us. After losing the Struck, a couple weeks ago, I mean, our receiving core has gotten better. So, I'm just impressed that our guys, in our offensive line, we lose Chase Harris there. We're getting Chase back now, and, Ratzloff moved in there. And, we were able to run. I mean, we were able to – and Jones has really improved. The sophomores really stepped up. I kind of laughed at him today. I'm like, he's still a sophomore anymore? And, he's not playing like a sophomore. Satter's not playing like a sophomore anymore. So, Theobald not playing like a sophomore. Those guys are all now, varsity guys. And, Bennett Dannenbrink's feeling a lot more comfortable. I mean, you can tell just how he's acting on the field, that things are easy now for him. The reads are getting simpler. He's not second-guessing, and he's going out, playing like we thought he was going to play all summer long, which is, run our offense up and down the field, which he's doing a great job.
Yeah, I was going to touch on Dannenbrink. Actually, his final stat line tonight, he was very efficient, 17 of 21 for 356 yards and 5 touchdowns. So when
you look at last week, one incompletion on a, kind of a little bit of bad throw on his part, and tonight, the one that he threw a couple incompletions that he should have thrown incomplete. I mean, he did a good job of throwing it away, getting our offense back, not taking a sack, running the football really well. Alper's teams are trying to double him sometimes, and as a result, we're getting some nice run plays off of it. They're laying off soft, and Bennett got 2 big runs there, and then a couple great throws. I mean, the read down in the end zone in the last touchdown pass to Heggie was a great read that he had not to throw the out. That was wide open the time before. He didn't just go back and say, hey, it was open on the false start, and comes back and makes a great throw and read. So really proud of, how he's starting to read the defense and just play within the offense of what we're trying to do. And we're not trying to do too much. We're just making plays, and that's a lot of fun.
But the mental mistakes weren't there tonight. I'm going to go on the offensive line. Being a big guy, I thought the offensive line, no sacks.
Yep.
He wasn't rushed too much tonight, I didn't think.
Part of that, a lot of it is, that we're able to get the quick throws out right now. I mean, we're not holding onto the ball. We're not throwing deep balls for the most part. We're getting timing routes. I mean, all the stuff that our offense has been built on, back when Isaac Struck started this whole, movement on there. So we're going to put the plug in for you on that, Isaac.
Hey,
so,
thank you.
We talked to Bennett, too, and we said, hey, I mean, you go back and look at when you were playing, too, that year. I mean, the first half of the year, I mean, we won games, but it wasn't always pretty.
Yeah.
And you can't say, though, it was, that, well, we just got through it. We were able to make a couple big plays. And like I told our guys is that, I mean, it's going to be good for us that we lost those first games because it really put the emphasis on that, man, we got to go out and play well in order to win games. And now that we're playing well, it's like, well, let's bring on those teams again. Like, who cares who we play in the playoffs is kind of our mantra. If we get a 6 seed, who cares? I mean, we're just going to go out and play it. There's really not that much difference, I don't think, this year between realistically 1 to 7. I don't think it really matters. No. Just bring it on and let's go have a lot of confidence into the playoffs.
It's funny that you mentioned that because Roosevelt's up 40-20 right now against Washington.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you start looking at we get blown out by Washington. Roosevelt kills Washington. We kill Stevens. Stevens beats Roosevelt. I mean, it means nothing. I mean, it really doesn't. It's going to be who's playing well in the second half of the season, and you're going to see a Roosevelt team running the football. You're going to see us running the football, Granite Valley running the football, and we're going to see who's get in the semifinal game. And confidence is a ton of it right now, and our guys are playing with a lot of confidence.
Absolutely.
Coach, we haven't talked much about your defense as much the last couple of weeks. They've kind of probably
well,
been
they haven't had to play very much. So,
right.
You know, the best defense is your offense out there scoring points, because it takes a lot of pressure off them, that they can go out and take chances. They can go out there and be a little bit more aggressive sometimes, because they're not worried about, like, well, if I give up a touchdown, the game is over. It's like, well, now we can go be aggressive, and, you know, it's not going to matter now if they screw up. But they're making plays. I mean, interception, we wanted 3 turnovers tonight. What did we get, 1 or 2?
You got 2. You had 2 interceptions.
We would have had 3 if we had a two-handed Manny Struck. Two-handed Manny Struck. We had to take him off of the hands team, because we call it now the 2 hands team, just because we had to take him off because he's only got 1. So we shouldn't be making fun of the poor kid. He's going to get back, you know, and he's going to make ourselves a better team when he's got both of his hands out there too. So.
Well, he has that Struck athletic ability, right?
It's getting too deep. I got to get out of here. You guys did a great job. We had to win. We'll see you in here on next week, and thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Coach Poppinga, for your time as always, as the Knights pick up that 62-14 victory over the Stevens Raiders. When we come back, we'll have a little bit of a wrap-up of the ball game, some scoreboard updates from around the state, player of the game.
Wonder who that will be.
And we will get back after the break on Real Presence Radio Network.
Eiler, area account executive with Real Presence Radio. Did you know the signal of Real Presence Radio reaches an audience of over 2.4 million people across North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, and Wyoming? Have you ever thought about running radio spots on the RPR network? We want to partner with you to help gain exposure for your business in front of a very faithful customer base. To find out more about the options, please call me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
Real Presence Radio is available on Google Assistant devices, including Google Home, phones, tablets, and smart displays. To start this action, say something like, "Okay, Google, talk to Real Presence Radio." It will then ask what station you want to play, to which you can respond, "Play Sioux Falls," or "Play AM 970," or "Play WWEN." From there, you can use words like play, pause, and stop. Listen to RPR anytime, anywhere on Google Assistant devices.
All right, welcome back, folks, to tonight's Locker Room Show. As you heard on the tease to this break, we're going to have the player of the game. And boy, Dan, there's a lot of, there's probably one that really sticks out. There's a lot of good candidates tonight for the player of the game.
A lot of good candidates. I mean, if I could give it to the whole offensive, the whole team, I would, but we can't.
There's not enough Pizza Ranch gift cards to go around.
Yeah, Ferris wouldn't like us very well. That would if he sent the whole team over there and everybody got free pizza. So, Dan and Brink really sticks out in my mind, but I'm going to give him honorable mention. How's that? We give him honorable mention.
Yep.
The player, and to me, the player of the game was number 9, Peyton Hagee, 4 touchdowns, over 100+ yards in receiving. As a sophomore, stepping it up and doing it tonight for the Knights, and with say 4 touchdowns and everything,
and over 150 yards.
Here come the official stats. I just got the email. So.
Dan, are you gonna buy a lottery ticket tonight? Because who picked Peyton Hagee about 3 hours ago to be the pick to click?
That would be me, but I'm not gonna mention that. But yeah, I tell you what, phenomenal effort.
And Maverick Jones, I'm gonna give another honorable mention as you're looking through those stats. He had over, I don't know what his final stats are, but he had over 100 yards rushing in the first half, and he was really good in the running game.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. All the Knights play well, and like I told Coach, being a big guy, I'm a big believer in the offensive line and in the defensive line, getting at it and stuff. So tonight, Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights player of the game was brought to you by Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street here in Sioux Falls. Pizza Ranch has a daily buffet and a fun zone for kids to play in. Pizza Ranch can be reached at calling 271-8646. Our player of the game, Peyton Hagee, number 9, with 4 TDs and over 100 yards receiving for the Knights.
Okay, so he had 6 catches, Dan, for 167 yards and 4 touchdowns. And then just a few other ones. Maverick Jones, 18 carries, 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then Bennett Dannenbring, don't see his stats, but he was really good as well.
What's our total offense?
So total offense, I'm just kind of scrolling through a phone, folks, so it's not as easy to, let's see here if we can find that. Okay, here we go. So total offense for O'Gorman, 603 total yards.
Ooh, came up short.
So, and they had 230 total yards. So the record was 639.
Oh, came up 38 yards short.
Oh, so we were close.
36 yards short.
Yeah, so in Dannenbring, here we go. He was 17 for 21. For 356 yards and 5 touchdowns. So very, very efficient. Jed Jensen for Rapid City Stevens was 10 for 22 for 201, 1 TD, 2 INTs as well. So I want to thank Ken Lindemann for those stats. But, yeah, so Peyton Hagee, congratulations to you. You are the player of the game. 6 catches for 167 yards and 4 TDs. Thank Todd and Michael Ferris and the whole Pizza Ranch staff as well for their sponsorship. We're going to take our final break. When Dan and I come back, we're going to have our final scoreboard update and then preview the game next week against the Huron Tigers, or should I say the Fighting Mark Strucks. And that is coming up after the break on Real Presence Radio.
Hi, I'm Teresa Curley, Listener Relationship Coordinator for Eastern South Dakota, and I would like to personally invite you to the 4th Annual Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls Banquet on Tuesday, November 2nd at the Best Western Plus Ramkota Hotel. Social hour starts at 5:30 p.m., followed by a meal at 6:30, and Dr. Stacy Trasankos will be the keynote speaker. To register for the banquet, go to realpresenceradio.com/banquet or call or text me at 803-427-3961.
I'm Bishop Donald DeGrood. I'd like to invite you to the Through God's Love Conference on Saturday, October 30th at the Sioux Falls Convention Center. Over the last few months, we've been spreading the word about the diocesan vision, lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. Now I'd like to invite you to participate in this conference, where we will help you respond to God's call and in turn help others know and love Him themselves. Visit sfcatholic.org and join me in the renewal the Holy Spirit is working in our diocese.
Okay, welcome back here to the postgame show. Knights all over the Rapid City Stevens, 62-14. So let's go through the scoreboard update here. So you want to do the AAA, Isaac?
Yeah, why not? I might as well. So final score over at Howard Wood. Sioux Falls Roosevelt 40, Sioux Falls Washington 27. So Roosevelt picks up a big victory over the Warriors.
That's an upset.
Yeah, absolutely, and a big time win for just PowerPoints in general. And then Harrisburg.
That's a win for us.
Yeah. Harrisburg all over Rapid City Central, 62-12, and then Brandon all over Mitchell right now, 28-0 in the end of the first half.
And then in AA, we have a close game, end of the first half, 31-28, Pierre on top of Watertown. Brandon Valley started third, 28-0 over the Mitchell Colonels. Brookings, 35-0 with 6 minutes to go in the third. Spearfish over Douglas started third, 14-0. T-Area number 1 in the AA, 14-6, having a little bit of tough time with Aberdeen Central with a minute left in the first half. We're going to have to watch that one. And Yankton all over Sturgis Brown, that's the end of the first half, 28-0. That's your AA and AAA scores. And then tomorrow night, it's a big game at Howard Wood. Jefferson takes on Lincoln at 6 o'clock at Howard Wood. And I got to root for Lincoln there.
And they're both 4-2 as well. So that'll be, and if you look at PowerPoints, Jefferson is, or tied for third basically. So it really isn't any difference, but that'll be an interesting game to see because Jefferson's coming off a rough loss to Roosevelt last week. So are they kind of going to go on a downward swoon, or are they going to come back? And sometimes one of the best medicines in football is to get beat really bad, and then you're going to be even more focused the next week. So that'll be it. I won't be able to watch that because I'll have a little other commitment going on tomorrow night at the same time. But that will be an interesting score to look at and see. And this is kind of the home stretch, guys. I mean, it's crazy to think. I was thinking I was doing the game script last night. We're already in week 7.
Yeah.
How are we in week 7,
Yeah.
It felt like the first game, it took 3 weeks, I guess, with that Roosevelt, all those postponements. But the old adage is you always want to be playing your best football as playoffs approach. And right now, O'Gorman, they're starting to get a little bit healthier. Some of those players that have had injuries or illnesses, they're working their way back. And then those sophomores and some of those other players, in the meantime, have really stepped up. And next week, Dan, what do we got for the O'Gorman football team?
We got the Huron Tigers, the Struck Tigers coming in from Huron.
You missed the T's, Isaac. I said the Fighting Mark Strucks.
Yeah. What year did your dad I mean, I don't want to say what age, but he was what, 90?
He was born in 71.
Oh.
He turned 50 this summer. So let's see here.
I would say he'd be late 80s.
Yeah, it would have been like 89 maybe he would have graduated. I can't remember the exact
89,
year.
yeah,
but he grew up in Montrose until he was his sophomore year end of sophomore year summer, moved to Huron for junior and senior year, and then the rest, his other brothers came through the pipeline to Huron after
But
that.
the Huron Tigers, the
Fighting
I
Mark
don't know what
Strucks.
their record is right now, but I don't think
They
got a winning record.
They got whooped last week.
So they're 2-4 going into tonight,
and they are getting beat right
getting
now.
beat now. So, that's one of the ESD schools that we end up playing here. And
The ever powerful ESD, who just seems to
Eastern
be
South
so
Dakota,
good every year.
I'll
man.
tell you what, that was one heck of a conference back in the 70s.
And it's not the 70s anymore,
ESD,
though.
That was one powerful Yankton here in Mitchell.
I will say though, I just the ESD they get all the love and whatnot, but I haven't seen an ESD school compete for anything in a big time football game in the last however many years. Besides basically AA, their own ESD AA. And you got some bigger schools than O'Gorman and Brandon or whatever the case is up here in AAA. But whatever, that's a conversation for another day.
So coming off 2 big wins against Rapid City, now we're coming up to here. What do you work on this week besides the fundamentals to come back and play kind of a...
You work on getting healthy is what you do. You work on, and you take the day off here after a big, long win. You watch film on Monday. You go over some things. You take it nice and easy on Monday. Tuesday, you start to warm back up into it. You have your big practice on Wednesday, and then you got your pregame Thursday and into Friday. And you're preparing to be an O'Gorman Knight on the field, not preparing to beat Huron. You're preparing to get well-rounded and better. You can't overlook any opponent.
I say you can't get overconfident either.
But you gotta know that if you're playing your brand of football like they played tonight, you're going to be able to beat a Huron team next week. So,
final thoughts, Brad.
Final thoughts. This was the best O'Gorman game of the season by far. If you look at the opponent they played tonight, not a pushover by any stretch of the imagination. Defensively dominant, and then offensively even more dominant. I mean, sprinkling both the running and the passing, that's important to have that balance moving forward so you're not one-dimensional. And to be able to run the ball as it gets colder in October, that's real, and windy. You just never know what the weather's going to be like in that first round of the playoffs. So great overall performance. I don't think we had any injuries come out of this game, which is always a good thing that coaches will look at. Bennett Dannenbring, this is a totally different looking quarterback now, week 7, compared to even week 4 or 5. It feels like he's kind of understanding the system better. Isaac would know this more as a quarterback than any of us, getting to know his reads, and he's not overthinking things. He knows where he's going with the football, and he's playing very confidently, and that's going to work out well for us moving forward.
Week 1, I would never swear that's the same kid. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, you not swear. He has come a 180 and just playing phenomenal. So, Isaac, final thoughts.
I kind of just to piggyback off of what has been already said, but I really, really do think that this O'Gorman football team is going to be a tough team to play in the playoffs, especially now that they're coming together as a group. You've got a lot of confidence out of your offense right now, which was the thing that was kicking you in the butt earlier in the year, and not to mention now that you've got a couple of guys coming back, and hopefully by playoffs you might have a healthy Manny with the hand where he can start playing some offense again. Niedringhouse could be back. You've seen Andrew Nelson getting a little bit of offensive snaps again tonight.
Chase Harris getting
healthy. You're starting to come back to that full strength, and like Jason said, your sophomores have gotten some more game experience, some big games. They're going to be obviously jitterbug, a little bit nervous come that playoff time, but you're seeing a team that's had much more experience now, and your guys that have had experience in the past that were injured and getting healthy, it's all starting to come together, and everyone's starting to play confident together. And like Jason said, it's wide open. I wouldn't want to play O'Gorman in a playoff game right now. I wouldn't want to play Roosevelt in the playoff game right now. Oh. No one wants to play anybody right now because that's how wide open I think it is.
Doesn't this remind you of 3 years ago?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's what I'm looking at. I'm telling you, 3 years ago, we're kind of sitting in the same situation, and we had 5 more games, and we up in Brookings, up at South Dakota State. That's where we took it to.
Was that the second or third time you got that in?
Yeah, I got that in. So, but anyway, hats off tonight. So we have to root on the boys tennis. They're in the playoffs tomorrow, second round. They play 1 o'clock at Sioux Falls Jefferson.
Boys soccer.
Soccer at second round playoff. Volleyball down at Sioux Falls Christian tomorrow afternoon at 3:30. There's a play here tomorrow night. And if the boys win, then they play soccer the third round, if necessary, on Tuesday the 12th. And then the boys and girls cross country is at Brandon Valley. And then we're back here next Friday night, 6 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 5:27 against the Huron Tigers. So for Brett Byler, Isaac Struck, I'm Dan Johnson. Thanks for listening. O'Gorman on top, 62-14 over Rapid City Stevens. God bless.
Did you know you can listen to the RPR network when you're on the go? Just search for Real Presence Radio in your app store. Listen live to any station across the network at any time, so you can stay connected to your local community from wherever you are. Plus, if you miss a program, the Real Presence Radio app is your one-stop shop for local and national podcasts, including our signature show, Real Presence Live. The Real Presence Radio app, with you every step of your faith journey. Download it today and see what you've been missing.
Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street in Sioux Falls offers a daily buffet featuring a variety of pizza choices, salad bar, and chicken. Pizza Ranch has a spacious dining room as well as 8 party rooms that fit different group sizes. Their online menu provides another option for their customers to order from. Pizza Ranch is located across from O'Gorman High School on 41st Street and can be contacted by calling 271-8646. Pizza Ranch is a strong supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
From the Real Presence Radio Network, O'Gorman Knights Football has been brought to you in part by
Catholic Family Services, Catholic Community Foundation of Eastern South Dakota, Jardine Construction, Barnett Vision Clinic, Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools, McGuire Iron, Sioux Equipment Company, Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness, Closets and More, and JMJ Caseworks. The BB Agency, Knights of Columbus Insurance, Crossroads Book and Music, Pizza Ranch, and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street.
The preceding O'Gorman Knights activity has been a special presentation of the Real Presence Radio Network.